Isang over 70?
Bawal mo ba sa quarantine lang?
Okay. Akala ko discriminated na rin ang edad. Hindi naman.
Tungkol sa torture na inabot nila sa police. May mental. Silang dalawa lang.
Pag-usapan natin.
Kaya sila lumabas. Kaya nilabas nila yung story nila. Kasi nung una, tinatago nila yan, natatakot kasi sila. Ngayon, lumabas na sila.
Because circulate ang dalawang state.
Apples, we're over 9. Can we promise 9? Can we go?
Attorney Mike, ang pinalitan lang doon, one question. Yun lang yun. First statement nila, wala pa yun.
Pero
Then the objective to
they executed their affidavits in your presence.
No,
There was no lawyer present.
we were not the lawyers.
No, but there was a different set of lawyers present while the
There
affidavit.
was someone who parang first
Friend niya.
Friend
Eh,
niya.
bagong lawyer. Eh.
Friend ni JP.
Which is the
Oo,
corporate
na
lawyer.
present doon.
Na hindi naman practicing lawyer, corporate lawyer.
Have you experienced? Ito napunta na sa amin eh. Si Miss Claire.
Oo, napunta na ako sa kanila, sa bahay nila.
Okay. Tacloban is easier actually.
Kami kung hindi nagkaroon ng ano, pinapapilataw kami ng ate mo.
Oo nga eh. My sister is a congresswoman of our place. Nag-ano din lang, nagla-land trip din sila. We are so afraid to take the plane. Okay. Una, Claire, maraming salamat. Salamat for this. Thank you. And Lord, bless us. You know, I'd like to pray. wrap us in your love and wisdom so that we can have a meaningful interview. We can ask the right questions and we can do a meaningful interview because all of us just want the truth. And sabi ko nga talagang, Panginoong Diyos, bigyan niyo kami ng, the sense of what is honest, what is brave, what is right. Wrap us in your infinite wisdom, ika nga. But Claire, thank you for this. Thank you. And doon sa mga nagmamasid sa aming pag-uusap, sumunod po kami ng health protocols. Lahat po ng aming staff and crew ay sumailalim po sa swabbing para po sa interview na ito. And we are also in the presence of the lawyers of the interviewees we have tonight. Ang ibig sabihin po nito ay, if there are any questions that you don't feel comfortable with, if there are any questions that you feel you have to refer to your lawyers, if there are any questions that lawyers, if you feel are incriminating your clients, you can stop me. And I thank you for not asking me not to ask any questions, because usually there are interviews where interviewers are asked not to ask certain questions. I also consulted my lawyers as to what I can cover for this interview. Napakarami na nang nasabi. A lot has been said, a lot has been asked, a lot has been reported, opinions have been expressed, speculations are rife. Ang ingay-ingay na po. This particular controversy has dominated the national conversation. Everyone has a point of view, and we just all want the truth. Rommel and Valentine have posted on their social media accounts the hashtag #FundTheTruth. We can probably talk about it later, because you guys want the truth, I want the truth, the lawyers want the truth, the police wants the truth, the public wants the truth, and let's go for it. I'm hoping to be able to go as closest, if not to the truth, with the questions, with your answers, with whatever discussions we have. The truth, though, you can correct me, lawyers, is attached to the concept of perspective, of belief, as opposed to facts that cannot be debated. Ang perspective ko kasi, who better know the facts than you guys, because you were in the room where your friend died. Okay. Let's go to my first question. You are all being accused of gang raping your friend, Christine Dacera. And I saw some of your interviews with tears and with vehemence. You deny this. If you didn't kill your friend, who did?
No one did.
No.
Who wants to answer that? JP.
Wala pong pumatay kay Christine. Aksidente po lahat na nangyari. Mahal po namin siya bilang kaibigan at bilang respeto sa aming mga magulang, mga kapatid na babae. Ganun yung tingin namin kay Christine kasi comfort zone kami ni Tin. And if she's with us, she feels safe. So, doon pa lang makikita na yung kung gano'n namin siya inaalagaan at pinapahalagahan. Kaya hindi ko masasabing ni-rape si Tin or may nagtangkang patayin si Tin. Walang ganun nangyari dito, boy.
JP, aksidente. Aksidente, paanong aksidente?
Hindi ko po alam kung paano aksidente, pero
Okay, attorney, go ahead.
The correct term is natural causes.
So, hindi aksidente, natural causes ang tamang term.
Yes.
May nais ba kayong idagdag? Because if you didn't kill her, who did? I mean, that's a natural question. Or, if not who did, what killed her?
Well, Tito Boy, the medical legal report has already said that the cause of death is aneurysm. So that is the one that we are holding on to say that the cause of death is natural cause. There's no foul play, there's no accident that happened. Simply, it just happened naturally.
Okay, I want to follow that up, attorney, but we might just be going ahead of the story. Pero baka makalimutan natin. Natural cause aneurysm, ang sabi ng medical legal. Alam din natin lahat, ang pinag-uusapan ngayon, ang medical legal po ay nangyari after the embalming. So may mga bagay na na-compromise, may mga bagay na hindi na nakita. So that has to be discussed among lawyers, not us.
Exactly.
But that is basically what people are trying to raise. But insofar as you're concerned, what you're saying is we go by the result of the medical legal. Kasi ang dinig namin, attorney, magkakaroon daw ng forensic study, autopsy, may pangalawang pag-aaral. Ang sinasabi niyo po sa amin ay sa ngayon, habang tayo nag-uusap, and today is January 13 and we are live, ay ang pinangahawakan niyo ay yung medico legal na una.
Yes.
Okay. Ang question ko is, so ang tanong doon sa who, wala, what, aksidente, could she have been sexually assaulted by other people in the other rooms? Like 2207 and now lumalabas yung 2009. The answer there, Gigo, is no.
I was one of the people who were invited to that party for the first time. I met some of them for the first time.
Okay.
And I saw how Christine was so taken care of. She was very comfortable.
Pero yun yun, guys, sa 2209. What I'm trying to say is, based on what we saw, mga CCTVs, commentary, kwentuhan, siya'y bumalik ng ilang beses doon sa 2207. My question, attorney, I don't know if this is even right, but it's hypothetical. Could she have been assaulted? Not necessarily in your room, but in the other rooms. Is that possible?
If any of the multiple times she went to the room that she felt unsafe, she would have told any of us.
Okay, she would have told you kung nangyari, and you would have known dahil bihira yung pagkakataon na tumawid siya sa kabilang kwarto mag-isa.
Yes, that's why they kept on picking her up from the room and bringing her back.
Okay, ito diretsa na. Dahil this is the elephant in the room. Could she have died? Could she have died due to a drug overdose?
No.
Why are you sure?
For me, Tito Boy, I was very observant that night, and I didn't see nor hear nor was offered any drugs, so I didn't, there was no trace of it. So I think.
Okay. Attorney, balikan ko lang yung aneurysm. Kasi doon sa mga interviews sa Dr. Fortune, sinasabi niya na yung aneurysm of the aorta was so unlikely for a 23-year-old. I am not a doctor. I'm not conversant on medical terms. Pero parang it would take a lot, for a 23-year-old girl to have that rupture.
Well, I'm not also a medical expert in the body, but the one examining her body, Christie's body, is a medical legal expert.
And you go by that.
So we cannot have our own interpretation or our own view because we are not competent to answer that particular question or even argue with Dr. Fortune. She's an expert with the renowned forensic expert, but the Dr. Sarmiento is also a medical legal of the PNP, and we have no hand in the conduct of the autopsy. We were not informed where it will be conducted. We were not there. We witnessed it. So it is all done by the PNP medical legal.
Okay. Attorney Fortune is not here to defend herself. Ang akin lamang, na-mention ko lamang siya dahil siya yung madalas kumapanood. At sinasabi naman niya ang kanyang meditasyon dahil ang kanyang basehan lamang ay yung papel na kanyang nakikita. Klaro po yan. Okay. Let me start with December 31, 2020, the New Year's Eve. Kanina, JP, at madalas ko ito naririnig sa inyong mga interviews, pinalaki kami ng maayos, hindi namin magagawa yun, meron kami mga nanay, meron kayong mga kapatid. Fundamental question. New Year's Eve is a sacred celebration for most of us. Why weren't you with your families? And why weren't you with your relatives in Manila? Kung kayo yung mga taga-probinsya, why did you decide to have a party on the eve of New Year?
Ako, Tito Boy, aminado ako. That time, me and my family has a problem wherein me and my mom has a gap.
Okay.
And me and my sister has a gap too. So, I really wanted to go to them during that night, but then for some reason, I choose to stay with my friends because I understand their situation too.
I understand. Naayos na ba kayo ng mom at saka ng sister mo
yes
sa
po,
ngayon?
okay na
Okay.
po kami.
So he had problems and it was more comfortable for you to spend it with friends.
Yes.
Okay. Valentine, ikaw?
My mom has already passed
Okay.
away. My dad is
sorry.
Taiwanese, and
I'm sorry?
my dad
Dad
is
is Taiwanese,
Taiwanese,
okay.
and he celebrates the Lunar New Year. So with regards to that, I was invited by my friend Rom to spend New Year together with him and his friends. So I said it's once a year, so why not give it a shot? So I was just invited, and I
understand.
went there.
Was this the first time you joined friends for a New Year's celebration?
Not my first time,
Okay.
but it's rare that I
All
go
right.
with friends.
Gigo?
Well, that day I was feeling down because a lot of my relatives couldn't come for New Year's Eve because that was normally what we did. And I was also heartbroken. And I just needed a change of scene and change of pace. And I said yes because I've been dealing with a lot over the year. And I just felt that, I deserve this.
All right. Okay. Clark?
I already spent my New Year with my family because I just came to the party at 1 a.m.
Okay. I understand that. So you're with family and then moved
Because
to
I
the
was
hotel.
invited to. I was part of the.
You were also invited by Rommel.
Yes, by the group because we're in a group chat.
Okay. All right. Rommel, ikaw?
For me, Tito Boy, pasasalamat. Pasasalamat namin sa isa't isa. Thank you for coming into our life. Thank you for accompanying me, sabi din sa akin. Pasasalamat na magkasama kami sa New Year na yun. Na hindi namin alam kung kailan mauulit.
Okay.
Cherish namin moment na yon at ang gusto lang namin talaga mag-enjoy na yun. First time ko sumama sa isang malaking group, New Year, Christmas, kasi most of the time, umuwi ako pag Christmas
Sa
and New
Iloilo?
Year. Yes. And then, because of pandemic, nahirapan ako umuwi. So, parang gathering din namin ng mga taga-probinsya at malalayo sa family. That's why we spent New Year, nung gabing yun, just to have pasasalamat talaga, Tito Boy.
Okay. There is a narrative that Christine was supposed to spend the New Year's Eve dinner or party with a close friend of the family, Dr. Marichi
Ramos.
Yeah, I mean, tama yung ating naririnig. All right, so these are the reasons why you got together to spend the New Year's Eve together. Sino nagplano? Ikaw naman. Because of that whole concept of pasasalamat.
Yeah, we have the group, a group called Tipsy. So,
I'm sorry?
Tipsy.
Tipsy.
Yes.
As
the
in
name of the
tipsy.
group. Yes, Tipsy.
Okay.
Ako po, Tito Boy.
attorney na to sa
Ako po, Tito
sa
Boy.
Tipsy.
Original plan ko is to have dinner alone. And then, suddenly, Teen decided na, tara na, mag-book na tayo ng hotel. Sige na, kasi wala akong kasama sa New Year, mag-isa lang ako. And then, Ray, ako, si Christine, and Clark, parang naggumawa ng poll. Tama? Poll, parang
Yeah,
botohan.
Christine did the poll.
Oh, yes.
Among
Yes.
the tipsy.
The
At
chat
nanalo,
group.
at nanalo yung vote na mag-hotel.
By how many votes?
I think six.
Six
So
or
ilan ang
seven?
miyembro ng tipsy, this chat group?
11.
11.
Yes.
So malaki bang lamang? I mean, most
Yes,
of you really
malaki.
wanted to be together.
I voted like staying home. Ako lang. Yes.
Okay.
And then sabi ko, okay, since nanalo, okay. And then Paul Halili offered, guys, I can give you a big discount sa hotel.
Ikaw ang nagsabi.
Si Paul.
Si
Paul, the hotel manager.
JP Halili.
Yes.
Okay. Who is part of that tipsy
Yes.
chat group?
Yes,
Okay.
exactly. And then, sabi niya, from 9,000 hotel, pwedeng gawing 5. Pero pwede pang babaan into 3,000. Then, na-excite kami kasi wow, di ba? Like sa pandemic, ngayong pandemic, wala kami masyadong sinasahod, wala kami masyadong lipad as a cabin crew. So parang na-excite kami doon na mag-book na lang ng hotel. Then, sige, tuloy na natin to. Kaya doon po kami napunta sa City Garden.
Okay. Kailan ito nangyayari? Itong poll na ito, itong pag-uusap na ito, itong botohan na ito. When was this happening? In your
December
recollection?
30.
December 30 ito.
Ng gabi.
Okay, alright. So mabilisan lamang ito. Ang in charge ng party, bali sa organization, sinong tumatayong, ikaw ang in charge ng food, ikaw in charge ng drinks. Who was that? Was that
Lahat
you?
po kami, napag-usapan po namin na lahat kami magdala ng food and drinks, each of us.
Tama yung nabasa namin, pizza and chicken?
Pizza, chicken, spaghetti, merong cake, bread, meron, ano pa ba? Fruits,
At ang nagdala
chocolates.
nun, Rommel, ay iba-iba.
Yes.
Kanya-kanyang dala. Parang
Yes.
potluck talaga.
Yes.
Ang alak, who was in charge of alak?
Kami din lahat po.
Ano yun? Bumili, nag-assign, ikaw, ano ka, black label,
Wala
ikaw,
po.
ganito.
Kahit ano pong alak, basta
okay.
may dala po.
Pero karamihan kasi ng mga alak na nakita namin doon sa kwarto ay hard.
Yes.
Was that a requirement?
Hindi naman po.
Talagang,
Yes.
you know each other. You
It's
know
like
what...
no drink, no entry. Parang
sorry?
no drink, no entry. Parang
Kasi
ganun.
parang never
I'm sorry.
pa kami
Anong rule doon? No drink?
No drink, no
So
entry.
yun yung
Parang-
ticket.
Opo.
Okay, alright. Sige.
And then, parang naalala ko din po, Tito Boy, never kami nagsama nito na uminom ng beer. So, puro hard drinks, tequila.
So kilala nyo ang isa't
Yes,
isa?
yes.
Alright. Who paid for the hotel? Yung sinabi mong naging 3,500.
JP? I think JP.
It's under 10. It's 10.
Who paid though?
10.
Christine.
Si Christine was the one who paid. Under whose name was 2209?
Christine.
Originally, Tito Boy, yung room namin is 2309.
Originally was 23.
2309 yung original room namin. But then for some reason, defective yung aircon. So lumipat kami ng 2209. And the room is under Christine's name.
Okay. Ito yung mga naglalabasan because I know you've answered most of the questions. I will try to ask you questions which have not been asked. December 30, you're right. You reserved room 2309 na naging 2209 dahil sira yung aircon. Is it true that on December 31, you guys reserved room 2207?
No.
No, Tito Boy.
No.
Hindi totoo ito.
No.
Yes.
Uulitin ko. So hindi kayo ang nagpa-reserve because the hotel came up with a statement. I'm not very sure. I have not read it. But some are saying that you guys reserved room 2207 and you're saying now that you didn't reserve
No.
the room.
We didn't.
didn't.
May lumalabas ngayon na usap-usapan that there is a third room which is 2009. Are you aware of this third room?
No.
Have you anything to do with this room?
No.
No.
Ang alam lang namin ng room namin po.
Okay. Under corporate accounts, ang mga pangalan daw ng mga kwartong ito. So inuulit ko, gaano kayo kasigurado na yung kwarto niyong naging 2209 was under the name of Christine?
Because when everything happened that morning, at that lunchtime, me and JP were asked to remain to make a checkout.
JP Halili.
No.
JP de la Serna.
JP.
Okay.
So we were made to go to the lobby to check out, and actually I saw the paperwork that they had, and they had Christine's ID, a photocopy of her ID, and also I saw the check-in paper. It had her name on it.
So you're absolutely sure that room 2209 was under the name of Christine, and Christine, inuulit ko, paid for the room.
Yeah, ito ba
Okay.
I may share, no? The PNP has submitted earlier yung, I think it's a sort of a reservation form or the check-in form, and I can confirm that the name of was under a corporate name and then Christine's name.
Under a corporate name, did you
I think-
recognize a corporate name?
I can't
Did you
remember it,
understand,
but
attorney, why there was a corporate name side by side beside the name of Christine?
well, I think that's a requirement. Maybe it's a requirement for them to avail of the discount that was offered.
Okay, that
right?
brings me to the next question.
And just to add also, no, even the other room has a corporate name and then the name of the one who reserved it or booked
Because
it.
that brings me to the next question that has something to do with the quarantine rules.
I don't know.
Okay? Ang sinasabi ay hindi naman ngayon basta-basta na lamang nag-check-in ka sa hotel because of were you guys aware that City Garden Hotel is a quarantine facility?
No.
No.
Did JP Halili, didn't he tell you, being the manager of the hotel?
Never.
Okay.
No.
Are you guys aware of health protocols? That one room can only accommodate 50% of what it is intended for?
No.
Okay, all right. In my research, City Garden Grand Hotel seems to be your hotel of choice. Ang hula ko siguro dahil si JP Halili is your friend. You have to confirm this or you can deny this. December 25, Rommel, JP, Ray, Christine, Rommel, Ray, JP, Dela Serna, Clark, JP Halili, Christine with other friends were in City Garden Hotel on Christmas Eve. Is this true or not?
True.
True.
It's true.
What happened? Tell me. You were at the Firefly Roof Deck Restaurant
Yes.
and you celebrated Christmas Eve there. Ano ang nangyari?
We had a dinner lang po dito po.
Just simple dinner.
Dinner.
Yung sabi nga ni Rommel na naiintindihan ko, yung iba sa inyo walang pamilya kasi dito eh, di ba? So you had dinner and
We just had dinner and
kwentuhan.
kwentuhan, yes.
I'm sorry,
And
I have
taking
so much
pictures.
details. Naglaro pa si Rommel at yata si Christine ng Gigo. Okay?
Yes, and we did also TikTok videos.
TikTok, yes, I was told.
Yeah, just simple dinner and then we just had fun. And then just celebrate the Christmas and Eve.
May nais kayong dagdag, Rommel? Yun lang, kasihan lang.
Yes, kasi ano.
Okay, nobody got drunk?
No. Wala pong inuman nangyari.
Wala.
Wala.
Okay, what time did you end your Christmas party?
12.
12.
12 a.m.
So you guys were home, kanya-kanyang uwian.
Sabay, magkasama kami ni Christine umuwi kasi doon siya natulog sa apartment ko. nung-
Dahil?
Dahil sarado yung apartment niya kasi may curfew. Yes.
Okay. At tama ba yung sinasabing may flight siya kinabukasan?
Yes.
Okay, all right. JP, December 30, you were supposed to be at the Firefly Roof Deck Hotel again. You were with people, I got the names from my sources. You have to correct me if I'm right or if I'm wrong. A certain Nathan, a certain Nathan, a certain
PJ.
PJ, that's right. And then JP Halili was there. And then suddenly, dumating si Christine. Ano ang nangyari talaga doon?
I'll clear everything out, Tito Boy.
Okay.
Una is, nag-dinner kami, ako si PJ, si Nathan, si Ray English, then si Paul Halili. We're only 5 that night. So, nag-dinner lang kami dun sa Firefly kasi nag-iisip na kung anong plano for for New Year, ganyan. So, after that, 10 p.m. or roughly 10:30 p.m., we decided to go to BGC. Nag-inom kami ng konti lang nila Ray English para chill, ganun. So, pumunta kami ng The Loaf Bar. Mga 10:30 kami pumunta ng The Loaf Bar. Then, nagsa-start kami uminom. Bandang mga 11 or 11:30, biglang dumating si Christine.
Doon, hindi sa Firefly, pero doon sa BGC.
Sa BGC na po.
Alright.
So, ako yung una nagtanong, uy, ba't wala ka sa Firefly? Tapos sabi niya, may kinita lang ako dito. Kasi nagtanong ako sa kanya, bakit nandito ka? Kasi I'm not expecting her to be there sa Loaf Bar.
Okay.
Tapos, ayun sabi niya, may kinita lang daw po siya doon sa area.
That's your story?
Yes.
Okay, because what is alleged is that December 30 was the day you guys reserved room 2207.
No.
Which you're saying this is a lie. This is
It's a lie.
not true.
Yes.
Okay. Noong December 30, when you met up with Christine sa BGC, I would like to apologize to the family of Christine if you're eavesdropping on this conversation because I know she has passed on and it is, I know that experience, you know. We know the experience of death. Ito'y napapag-usapan lamang dahil bahagi ho ito ng ating conversation. Naiilang ako dahil, of course, Christine is gone. I can imagine how you guys feel. She was your baby sister. Pero, totoo ba na si Christine, this is for you, Rommel and JP, has been very vocal about not having a boyfriend for a month. And that she had this, I don't know, whether serious or facetiously said, she was saying na isang buwan na or over a month, and she was really, hindi ko alam kung tama yung word, she was really open to a new boyfriend or, can you comment?
Actually, Tito Boy, last time, December 16 or 17, may pinakilala siya sa aming Chinese ba or Taiwanese siya. His name is Will. And
I'm sorry?
His name is Will.
Will.
Yes. They were dating. Nagiinom kasi kami noon. Tapos that time, pinakilala niya. They were dating na. So like, dun pinakilala niya, ganyan. Ito yung dinidate ko. But then for some reason, after magkaroon ng COVID ni Will, hindi na siya nagparamdam kay Christine.
Okay.
And after that, nag-open si Christine, bakit walang sumiseryoso sa kanya?
Alright. So, totoo pala yun.
Yes,
and
po.
then, is it true that December 30, when you met up with Christine, when you saw her sa BGC, she just met a foreigner friend?
I am not, I cannot tell it's a foreigner, but then
But she met a friend?
Yes.
Oo. She
He
met a
met-
friend
He
sa
meet a
BGC.
friend lang daw sa BGC.
You know, Attorney, all I'm trying to establish is the relationship of the dynamics nitong grupo. They're really a family, they're really friends, you know, they meet up, you know, etc. And dahil nga, Christine's from Jensan, Romel's from Iloilo, ikaw lang, because Romel flies for flies. I know you work for a BPO. I know Gigo. Clark, I know you're a nurse, but you're with an insurance company. Where are you connected?
The reason why we're connected because we're all Bisaya.
But what do you do now, JP?
Ngayon, naka-temporary leave ako because of what's going on. So, apektado yung buhay namin lahat, Tito Boy.
You are in transition, ika nga, from one job to the next job.
No. Naka-leave lang ako ngayon.
From?
Sa work ko.
Okay. Is it okay if I know where you work?
Sorry.
Okay, you cannot.
Tito Boy.
I understand that. Okay, let's go, parang klaro lamang. Let's go to the people present in the party. Because I saw that video recently, yung lumalabas. So, i-confirm ko lang dun sa 2209, ang present doon sa New Year's Eve party ay si Rommel, si JP de la Serna, si Clark, si Louis de Lima, si JP Halili, the manager of the hotel, Valentine, of course, was there, Ray was there, si Gigo, si Jamie or Jamir, I don't know how to pronounce that, Mark Anthony Rosales, and Christine. Tama.
Yes pa.
Walang kulang, walang sobra. Ito yung pupuntahan ko sa sinabi mo kasi, JP. Anong relasyon nyo? Sino dito ang magkakaibigan, new friends? Like, you know, Gigo said in his first interview that, and even tonight, he met Christine just on the very night itself. Sino ang new friends? Sino ang crushes? Sino ang boyfriends? Sino ang party guests? Tell me your story.
Well, actually, Tito Boy, Roman and I go way back. A couple of years ago, we met. And also, I was also friends with his best friend, who's Jamir. And so
Best friend of
Rommel.
Rommel. Okay.
And so when he messaged me,
Alam mo, idiretso na natin. Who was your ex? Rommel or Jamir?
Rommel.
Okay, go ahead.
and he messaged me if I wanted to go and meet
Sino? Si Jamir?
Rommel.
Rommel. Okay.
And then I said, who's gonna be there? He said his barkada, and then he said, Jamir's also gonna be there, and said, okay, cool, because there were two people I would know.
Pero ikaw yung bago, no? Ikaw yung bago. Because I also heard you say that that was the first time you really saw Christine. Kayo, paano? Paano kayo nagtagpo ng landas? How'd you guys meet? Ano ang inyong mga relasyon?
Originally, Tito Boy, yung core group lang namin is ako, si Rommel, si Clark, si Ray, si Louie, si Paul, si Christine. We're seven, including Christine.
Yung sinasabi mo, you got together because lahat kayo mga Bisaya.
Yeah, not all.
Not all.
Kasi nag-birthday si Ray English that time, and everyone were been
Dito
invited.
sa Maynila?
Yes po.
Okay.
Everyone were been invited.
When was this? I'm sorry, a timeline.
Kailan yun?
About a
Birthday
year
ni
ago,
Ray?
2 years ago?
November 7
November 7 of?
to 2020.
November 7, so bago.
Bago lang po.
November 7 of 2020, okay.
Ako yung wala pa dun sa group nila before. The reason why bakit ako nakapasok sa group is I'm breeding dogs, tapos bumili sa akin ng aso si Paul Halili. So si Paul Halili is inintroduce niya ako sa set of friends niya. And for some reason, hindi ako nahirapan mag-cope up, hindi ako mahirapan makisama sa kanila. And all of them are easy to deal with. Like wala talagang problema. It's easy to nagja-jive yung mga ugali namin. And sobrang masaya lang, Tito Boy.
Okay. Valentine, ikaw, paano ka napasok? Sino kaibigan mo?
Si Rommel po,
Okay.
I known him since 2018. Nakasama ko po siya sa photo shoot. Tapos, si John Paul Halili, nakilala ko na din siya around 2019. We became friends. Tapos si Ray Ingles, I had a best friend here from Cebu, which is best friend siya ni Ray. Yun, nakilala ko na rin si Ray, 2020. So,
Si Ray is not based here, di ba? He's in Cebu.
Yeah,
He used to
but-
fly for another airline, and then he worked for a number of hotels in my research.
Yes.
So he just comes to Manila.
No, right now he's staying here. When
Okay.
I think nung nawala siya sa job from Cebu Pacific, he had his business like selling
Alright.
perfumes. And
So he's here now. He's based here.
Yeah.
So ganun ka napasok. Oh,
Yes.
Clark, ikaw.
Ang friend ko po talaga is si Ray. And si Ray Ingles. And then, nung birthday niya, pinakilala po ni Ray kami sa kanila. Bali parang ang sabi niya pa parang, these are my Cebu friends, these are my PAL friends, kami yung Manila
Okay.
friends. And then, dun ko nakilala si Tin, si Loy. Yan, but I know Rommel na, this year na, before mamet sila Tin. And
Kasi
then,
same circle, di ba?
yes, same circle. So may mga mutual friends.
Pero wala sa inyong wala sa inyong lovers, wala sa inyong crushes,
Wala.
wala sa inyong, aside from the, declaration of Gigo, wala.
Wala po.
You didn't go to that party because you wanted to meet someone. Nobody went to that party because you were looking for a date. I mean, parang klaro lang.
Wala po, Tito Boy.
It was really just barkada.
Yes. And then, after that, most of nag-invite na, like every other weekends, nag-invite ng dinner, tapos same persons lang lagi, si Tin, si Rommel, si Ray, si JP, and the others. And then, when I came sa group, initially, expected ko lang po is yung 11, yun po, yung nasa group chat. And then, nung
Yung kayo
pagdating-
lang, 11.
Yes, pagdating ko po dun sa party, ang new face lang po sa akin is Gigo, Val, and Mark.
Val and Mark Anthony Rosales.
Yes, and Gigo.
Okay.
And all of them are, friends po kami.
Ikaw, Rommel, would you like to share your story kung paano nabuo ang grupo? Paano ka napasok? Paano ka napunta?
Well, actually talaga si Tin is my workmate, was my workmate. Tapos si
Your best friend, pero nauna ka kay Tin, di ba, sa kumpanya?
nauna ako kay
Tin was accepted, started to work May 10 of 2019.
Yes.
A large part of her life as a flight attendant was during COVID.
Yes.
I have it on record, May 10 of 2019. So
Yes.
nauna ka, no?
Yes.
Okay,
2017 ako.
correct.
Jamir Kunanan, batchmate ko sa work.
Tama.
Si JP, nakilala ko lang siya after Ray's birthday sa condo ni Louis de Lima.
What about Louis? Louis was your friend.
Louis-
I know Louis is not with X. I mean, he is in the other company.
No. Louis, nakilala ko through Ray Ingles. In-invite niya pumunta sa apartment ko para mag-inuman. Valentine sa photoshoot, si Gigo.
Nag-click lang kayo. What was it that got you together, guys? What was it that made you so happy about the group? What was it? What was the common thing that you had?
For me, based on my observation with the boy, we more focused on positive things. Kasi ayaw namin ng negative eh. Like, life is short for you to focus on negative things. So,
Happy-go-lucky lang talaga.
gusto namin masaya lang talaga.
Okay. Cynics will say, oh, gusto lang namin masaya. Anong klaseng saya? Alak, drugs, sayaw, daldalan, movies?
Company.
Companionship.
Okay. In room 2207, in your declarations, iisa lamang ang inyong kilala.
Yes.
Tell us about Edward Madrid. Who is he? Sino ang nakakakilala at paano niyo siya nakilala? Am I allowed to ask that?
Yes.
Si Ray Madrid, kaibigan talaga
Ed Madrid.
sorry. Edward Madrid, kaibigan niya talaga si Ray Ingles. Which, nung na-meet lang namin siya nung birthday ni Ray Ingles, nung November 7.
New friend.
Yes.
Okay. And then, were you surprised that Ed Madrid was in 2207? Did you have an idea that he was going to be there?
No.
Oo.
No.
So, okay. Ang tanong ay, eventually kasi naging magkaibigan kayo, papunta-punta kayo sa kwarto ng 2207. How did you guys meet?
Okay. Nung nakumpleto kami, well, actually hindi kumpleto, may ibang link.
Sandali, Rommel, bago mo sagutin yan. JP, iklaro lang natin. Kasi there is a narrative that says, ikaw daw ang nagpakilala sa mga taga 2207 kay JP Halili.
Yes, because ang kakilala talaga ng room 2207 is si Ed. So, si Edward Madrid is sila yung friends yun ni Edward Madrid, yun nasa 2207. Then, yung sa room namin is friends
But
din-
do you consider Edward Madrid as part of the 2209 or 2207?
2209.
Kasama niyo sa 2209, doon
Yes.
sa bilang ng 11.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. So, kaibigan ni Ed Madrid yung mga taga 2207.
Isa
Inuulit
lang
ko.
po.
Isa lang po.
Isa lang yung kilala niyo doon.
Isa lang.
Yes.
Would you know who?
Si DJ.
DJ ang pangalan.
Yes.
Okay.
Si DJ, then circle of friends ni DJ yun nandoon.
Oo. Can you give us an idea of who DJ is?
Ka-fling ni Ed.
Okay.
So, ayun. Yung nasabing tao, sa kabilang room, hindi talaga namin sila kilala.
Yung ka-fling ni Ed ay during that time ay active pa o wala na sila o sila pa rin?
Nagsa-start pa lang po.
Nag-start pa lang. Attorney, I don't know what you know, but I just going up the house of Miss Claire, I was read the news item by my producer that upon the invitation, the subpoena of NBI, the occupants of 2207 have actually reported to the NBI.
Yes.
Tama ba? Okay, so at least I'm trying to confirm it because that is opposed to what you initially said, guys, na ang estimate yung kasi noon ay 6 to 8. Di ba? Ang sumipot sa NBI ay 12.
I think they would have an explanation.
Ano ang paliwanag doon?
Well, okay, Tito Boy, at least from on my end, the first time that I went there with them as a group, right? When I entered, I just really did notice between 6 to 8 people. That's it.
Yun lang ang na-notice mo.
Yes. And we played the game. There was even a Facebook Live of that game, which
That's
is
right.
the Hip Hip Hooray.
The Hep Hep Hooray.
Yeah, and then after that, after probably 15 minutes, we went right back to our room. And that's it. That was, I think, before the countdown. So it's possible some people were late, some people
Okay.
we never got
But as
to-
far as you're concerned, Gigo, ang nakita mo ay around
6 to 8.
Okay, alright. Ito yung tanong ko. Kasi when you were starting to describe the people in 2207, naalala ko, mga Becky din sila, medyo old, nakapadyama. Ako, ang kaagad kong tanong, bakit kayo pabalik-balik? What was so interesting in that room that you kept on going back there?
Well, for me, Tito Boy, I actually just went that one time with them, and then
Once ka lang napunta doon.
actually I went back again because I was accompanying JP, but I went right back to the room.
Okay.
I was telling JP something. At least to my best recollection,
Okay.
I didn't really stay in 2207.
Alright. Kami naman, ang napapanood lang namin yung CCTV, di ba? So, madalas kayong pumupunta doon sa kabila, except for that story that at about 3 o'clock in the morning, somebody from 2207 went to your room asking you to fetch Christine. Medyo nagwawala na doon. But ang nakikita namin, kayong pumupunta dito, doon sa kwarto sa 2207. If they were uninteresting, if they were medyo old, if they were Becky's, if they were in pajamas, why were you going back to that room?
I was going back to that room to fetch Christine because
How many times did you do that?
I think I fetched her around 2 or 3 times if I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
But that's the only reason I'm
It was
going.
not because you were enjoying the company of the guys there.
No.
Okay.
I didn't even stay there for a minute. I was just there to pick her up or to take her. There were times I was carrying her because she kept vomiting on the bowl.
I
And
understand.
tapos, siya na mismo nagsasabing tatamad na siya maglakad. So I carried her back to our room. I kept saying to her or telling her that just stay here na lang in our room. We don't know much of the people about the other room. So it's better here. It's safer in our company. Pero yeah, that's the only reason why I kept going there. And Tito Boy, I just want to apologize on my first interview that I said that word medyo, kind of offensive. I'm really sorry. It's just, I was full of emotion during that time. But I just want to reiterate na, 2007, I'm taking back what I've said. Hindi kayo tsaka. Sorry.
Okay. All right. JP, ikaw, anong paliwanag?
Ako Tito Boy, the only time
JP, konting latag lang, no? Because ang gusto kong maintindihan, now that you took it back, if they were not as interesting, let's be very honest, if they're not as interesting, bakit balik kayo ng balik doon? And I would have expected, because you're very good-looking boys, I would have expected the other room to be going back to your room. And what was happening was the other way around.
Ako dito boys, the reason why we did go there is, the first reason is, nag-gate crash kami, kasi pinakilala kami ni Ed dun sa mga friends niya. Second is, nung sinama ko si Paul Halili, kasi me and Paul were close friend. Then sabi ko, ito yung friend namin, ito yung manager ng hotel, that's it. Then the next one is the time that Tin was fighting with the room 2207. Nakikipag-away siya, so nagtatawag na yung tao from room 2207 to pick Tin. So ako pa yung umawat noon kasi Tin was really drunk. And I'm avoiding commotion because ayoko makaistorbo ng ibang kwarto. Then, the fourth one is, that time kasi nung finetch ko si Tin, nakipag-away sa kabila, I keep my eyes on her. Meaning, I always look for Tin. Then, all of a sudden, biglang nawala si Tin sa room. So, I did went to room 2207 ulit for me to pick Tin up. Tapos,
This was after nakipag-away siya, bumalik pa rin siya doon, no?
Opo.
Would you know, JP, kung bakit siya nakikipag-away? Anong pinag-aawayan nila?
As far as I know, Tito Boy, medyo mababaw eh. Pero ang reason is the guys or the guys from room 207 is not following Tin in her Facebook account. Instagram account, sorry.
Okay, alright. And
So-
Tin minded that. Hindi niyo ako fina-follow sa IG.
Yeah. And I think Tin got offended because sabi sa akin ni Tin, sabi mo nga sa kanila, I'm pretty, ganyan. And I know she's pretty because she's my friend and I need to support her. So, going back on the fourth situation that I did go there, I picked Tin up because
So, 4 na beses ka nagpabalik-balik doon sa room na yun?
4 or 5?
4 or 5 times, alright.
Yeah.
And all because of Christine.
That's yes.
You guys were not going to the room because you were flirting with the occupants there. Yes or no?
No.
You were not going to 2207 because there were drugs there available.
No.
You were not going to to room 2207 for any other reason outside of Tin.
No.
Yes.
For Tin, yes.
Si Tin lang ang dahilan
Yes.
Tin, yes.
kung bakit yung binabalikan. Did you have a chance to ask Tin kung bakit balik siya ng balik doon? Hindi ba kayo nagselos? Na parang, kaibigan na, she's our baby girl. She's our only baby girl. Why is she going back to the room?
For me, I don't have any idea to ask that question to Tin because I know Tin so much when it comes to her attitude. Because Tin is so friendly and hindi siya mahirap pakisamahan.
No, but ang gusto kong maintindihan, kung after the away, bumalik pa rin siya doon. Bakit siya pabalik-balik doon? Yes, Valentine.
I don't want to confirm anything, pero I remembered Tin telling to me that there's someone handsome in 2207. One guy. And
Did she tell you if he was straight?
I actually looked at him. He doesn't look straight kasi sometimes if you see someone, di mo na malalaman kung straight or not. He's
And that cannot
maputi.
also be a basis.
Yeah. But I didn't, since they're all gays, I assumed he's also gay or not. But I heard that Tin told me that he was a basketball player he said, hindi yan gay, basketball player yan. Then I said, I'm not sure, because he looks gay. So
But that's again stereotyping.
Yeah.
I mean, gays can be basketball players, can be doctors, can be lawyers,
Yeah.
can be anything, can be flight stewards,
Yes,
can be
that's
interviewers,
correct.
but I understand.
Yeah, so I just shrugged
I'm
it
sorry,
off.
can be lawyers, I mean, we can be anything.
Yeah, so I just shrugged it off, and then I said, okay, I'll just go back to the other room, and yeah.
So Valentine, ang sinasabi mo, in your opinion, ay maaaring, that was the reason why she kept on going back to the room.
Yes,
May pogi. Sabi nga, it was Rommel who said, hindi mga pogi, right?
No, I was the one to say that, but yeah.
Okay. No, yung medyo old, I know you said it. But the hindi pogi, okay, you also said it. Alam mo, dahil this is on social media, for example, I just want to go back to the game. Lahat ba kayo nag-participate? All of you guys went to the room? All 11?
Yes po.
Clark only arrived at 1 a.m.
Ay, right.
So
You were
he wasn't there.
Pero aside from Clark, lahat kayo pumunta doon.
Yeah,
Clark and Paul Halili is not included.
And Paul, why? Because he...
He arrived late.
Also. So 9
Yes.
went to the room. Why?
Prior to New Year's Eve, they said, let's go.
Sino sila?
See,
207.
10, actually, she's the one to say,
Okay.
let's go to the other room, let's make friends with them. And then she brought one bottle of
Okay.
hard liquor. And that's the time we played parlor games in the room.
And one of those
207.
parlor games was Hep
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 Hooray,
Hooray.
yeah. And
Sa-
she won.
You just played one game.
Yeah, she won the
She
game.
won the
actually.
game na akala niya 1,500, yun pala ay 500. You
That was
know,
our last conversation.
that's right. I heard that in one of your interviews. Some people would say, people who have experience with drugs and people who've been, who are out of drugs, Hep Hep Hooray daw is a game that is usually played para maging high. Because it's Hep Hep Hooray! Comment.
No, for me.
Okay, so that to you is not true. Okay.
That's the first time.
Didiretsuhin ko na. Because Valentine, I went to your kiss. Pinanood ko yan siguro ng mga 30 times, Valentine. And I agree. I agree to some of your points. Number 1, you did not initiate. Tama ka doon. Number 2, you kept on pushing the doorbell. I totally agree with you. But I really watched the tape. You didn't back off. You kissed her. You kissed her. And until her head fell to your right shoulder. Kasi normally, halimbawa, pag hinalikan ka ng babae, I'm probably talking as a gay man, but I am not the benchmark, iba-iba ang gays, no? Pag hinalikan ka, either, ano ba? Or, sabi ni Attorney Santiago. But you kissed. As opposed to your claim that you actually, hindi. You kissed din. And then, bumagsak ang ulo niya dito. Would you like to explain that?
Yeah, actually, to be honest, that time, I really couldn't clearly remember it. Maybe I'm a bit tipsy, but I tried my best to gently avoid the kiss.
No, I understand that. You may have been tipsy. May mga bagay na ginagawa tayo na hindi natin nalalaman. But was it the first time you kissed a girl?
Yeah, that's my first time.
All right. Is this a thing that is often done among you, Rommel, Christine?
Actually,
Yes,
can I
Gigo.
answer that?
Go ahead.
Because all of my best friends, actually, majority of my best friends are all girls, pretty
Mm-hmm.
girls actually. And so, my old friends, straight guy friends would actually want me to hook them up. So it's all this thing. So when we're together, it's like girls kissing each other. It's just fun when we're under the influence and we're in the moment and we're like dirty dancing with each other and suddenly someone kisses each other and it's about the trust. So we were just willing to it's
You
fun.
live that now. You live that moment. I understand
And
that.
so we also like teasing. Like for example, when I was out in the club with my best friends, and there were these guys trying to hit on them, so they'd pretend that I was their boyfriend, and so they kissed me in front of them, and I would just kiss them right back. It's a thing for us.
I totally understand that, Gigo. I totally understand that. Yes, Val.
I just want to add, earlier they mentioned about Will, and Tin is very vocal. Actually, she kept saying before New Year's Eve, she kept saying that I looked so much like that guy,
the
which is
Taiwanese.
Will. Yeah, Taiwanese. But,
Chinese Taiwanese.
Yeah, she was sharing that guy ghosted her, and am I not pretty enough? She's very vocal with her feelings. You can even ask them because, yeah.
So, you reminded Tin of Will, the Taiwanese guy. Who did she remind you of?
No one.
Okay. You were in the moment, you were tipsy, and you just moved with the flow. JP, pupuntahan ko yung video na kinakarga mo si Ten at bigla na lamang siyang lumiyad. Have you seen that video? The CCTV?
Yes. Actually, original story ng Tito Boy is, that time, ayan yung nawala sa paningin ko si Ten. And she went to room 2207, and nung sabi ko, asan si Ten? And Ten was hiding behind the curtain. So,
Sa 2207?
yes.
Okay.
So, tinawag ko si Ten, then lumabas kami. Sabi ko, let's go out. Kasi I'm avoiding commotion. So, ayoko mangyari ulit yung nangyari noong una na nag-aaway.
Because hindi siya fina-follow sa IG?
Oo.
Okay.
Tapos ayun po, Tito Boy, like, it's a funny thing that Tin turned around and bigla siyang humiga. And I was there, of course. She's my friend and I need to protect her.
Nakita namin yun.
Yeah. Because if ever hindi ko siya sasaluhin, mababagok siya and I'm really worried of what might happen. So I choose to carry her over at the same time. She was, her toe is nakataas pa. Like, nagpabuha talaga siya. And that's the sweet thing that Tin has.
Okay. Some drug experts in our research would say that it was possible. It was possible. They can be wrong. I am quoting some things that I've read that Christine was possibly going through Emily or Niemily or a seizure, which is a phase in a point of someone who takes who takes liquid ecstasy, G, MDMA. Natutunan ko ito lahat the last few days before this interview. Was she in a seizure?
I don't think so, Tito Boy. Kasi Tin is still cautious that time.
Okay.
Conscious that time.
Alright.
Wherein,
So hindi siya, but you've heard of the word Emily?
I'm not sure.
Okay. All right. But you've heard of drugs like liquid ecstasy, G, MDMA. You've heard of these things.
Yes.
And you guys have not touched drugs.
No.
Okay. All right.
So, yun, Tito Boy. So, dinala ko siya sa kabilang room. Siya pa ngayon nag-doorbell ng door eh. So, at that time,
So conscious si
conscious
Christine.
pa talaga siya.
So hindi siya nag-seizure.
Wala.
Hindi siya nag-Emily, ika nga.
Wala pa.
All right. Around 5 a.m. in your narrative, Christine went back to the room or sinundo mo no? Nagva-vomit. She was, tama ba? Correct me if I'm
Hindi po ako
wrong.
yung Tito Boy.
Sumusuka na? Tama ba? At about 5 a.m.?
Yes, nawala po kasi siya. And then, that's the I think the second time I just go to the room 2207 just to pee. And then pagkapasok ko doon,
Bakit doon ka pumunta, Clark?
kasi doon sa CR namin may suka.
Ni?
I'm not sure kung sinong sumuka, basta may suka po
Okay.
doon.
Not necessarily Christine. Ikaw, Rommel? Si Rommel.
Sige, opo. And then, sabi ko sa kabila na lang, pinakilala na rin naman ako sa kabila. So parang, okay, sige, pupunta ako sa kabila, just to pee. And then, pagdating ko doon, yung sumalubong sa akin, sabi nila, pagkapasok ko, sabi na, yung friend nyo nagsuka. Tapos sabi ko, sino? Tapos pagtingin ko, si Tin. And then umihi muna ako. After ko umihi, gano'n lang siya sa bed, parang nagsuka, ganyan. Tapos parang
Nakaupo siya sa bed o sa floor?
sa bed.
Okay.
And then, sabi ko, sige, saglit lang, sasabihin ko lang sa mga friends ko para sunduin siya. And then, that's the time na sinundo na siya ni Val and I think JP din. Ikaw na.
Wala
And then,
ako.
kasi
This is around
pagkapasok
what
ko,
time, Clark?
that's about 5,
Mga 5 na ito.
4, I know.
5 to
Tapos
6.
na yung kinarga
6 na to siya, mga 6 na po siya, mga 6 na.
Okay.
And then, yun na po, sinundo na siya agad. Yun yung, I think, the last time na
Napumunta siya.
pumunta siya sa 2207 and nasa 2209.
Clark, pag-usapan natin yun. How bad was that? How bad was the vomiting? Weren't you worried that something was wrong?
For me, it's lang, na pag umiinom, nagsusuka.
So normal ito?
Normal na.
Was this the first time you saw Tin na nagsusuka? Or normal na ito? This was a usual
That's the first time na
occurrence
makita ko
to you?
siya magsuka. Kasi,
First time?
yes, pag nakasama ko naman siya kasi sa mga hindi ko siya nakikita sumusuka.
Okay. Rommel, normal lang ito kay Christine? Sumusuka talaga siya pag nakakainom?
Yes po.
Okay. So there was nothing extraordinary about what was happening? Walang nagbigay sa inyo ng dahilan na baka something was wrong?
No. For me, it's like uminom, so nagsusuka na siya. This is the time na nagsusuka na pag
So nung
nakainom
dinala
na
niyo siya sa kwarto, Valentine, what happened? Pinainom niyo ba siya ng tubig? What did you do?
Yeah, first thing I did was to ask her to drink water. Clark was assisting me during that
Okay.
time. We were taking care of her. And then we asked her to lay down on the bed so she could rest already. But she kept standing and going to the CR because she had the urge to vomit, that she also wants to pee.
Okay.
So yeah, we just kept assisting her during that time and tried to give her water to at least replenish the
So
fluid.
did it end? O pabalik-balik pa rin?
Pabalik-balik, then eventually, she didn't want to go back to the bed anymore. She just wants to, iwan nyo na lang ako dito sa bathtub. Dito na lang muna ako.
Ito ba yung nakunan na nasa harap siya ng...
Toilet bowl?
Yes,
That's the
na
first.
naka-peace sign?
that's the
It was
face.
6:30, and then that's the time she's vomiting, and she stayed there. We stayed there, Louis and I stayed there for
Louis de Lima and
yes,
you stayed there with her.
while she's vomiting.
So, but you didn't imagine that she was already sick. Wala bang nagsabi sa inyo that we better call someone? Wala.
Wala po. For me, it's just she's drunk and she's vomiting.
She's vomiting and everything was going to be all right.
Yes, after that.
Kasi
after,
nurse ka you would be
yes.
able to appreciate the situation.
Yes. And after vomiting, it'll be okay na na matutulog ka na, ganyan. So, yun ang isip ko na she's vomiting lang at that moment.
So what happened after? So doon lang siya, sa banyo na lang siya.
Yes, I was with her and Louis. So she kept on vomiting, and then there's the time na she wants to vomit. She's nauseated, parang ganun. Pero nothing is going.
But did you feel better after taking good care of her?
At first, but parang nahihilo pa rin siya. And then dahil po may suka na siya sa damit niya, that's the time na sabi namin mag-wash siya. And she transferred to the bathtub. And then yung shower po, yung pinang-wash namin sa kanya. And then sabi namin, tulungan niya yung sarili niya na mag-wash siya ng sarili niya. And then she's washing herself then.
Siya mismo.
Opo, nagaganyan sa wash. And then parang sabi ko pa sa kanya, huwag siyang mahiya sa akin si nurse ko. And then syempre friend naman kami. Then she's washing herself naman. And then Louis is there also.
So kailan niyo siya iniwan? Sa bathtub?
Ano po, kasi nabihisan pa po, natuyo pa po namin siya. And then tinransfer pa po namin siya sa bed. Tapos, before we transfer her to the bed, me and Val borrowed a bathrobe sa 2207. And then after that, we're telling Christine na kailangan niya na magpahinga. And then that's the time na binathrobe na namin siya, nagbathrobe siya, and then she returned to the room sa bed.
So na talaga yung mga taga-2207. Ang hiram na kayo ng bathroom doon. So they were also nice.
Opo.
Alright.
And then nung nasa bed na siya, that's the time na we decided na we're going to rest na. It's about, I think, past 7 na po. So,
Okay.
and then we decided na mag-rest na. And then, while we're
Sorry.
resting na,
When you decided to rest, 11 of you guys in that small room, I saw the room. How did you fit in?
there's an extra bed. So,
Okay.
3 of us on the extra bed, and then sa 2 beds na magkadikit, there's Gigo, Tin, JP, Tin,
JP who? JP
Apo.
Dela Serna.
and then Ray, Rom.
In other words, nagkasya kayo.
Opo,
Rom,
magkakaganyan lang po. Higa lang po
You're all
talaga.
cuddling. Some of them were cuddling just to
Okay.
fit.
Actually, not all. By that time, may mga umuwi na.
Okay, I know, because I have it from my sources that at 9 o'clock, Jamir left.
Yes.
Yeah.
And on
Jamir
that
left the hotel. Was he
Yes.
the first one to leave the hotel?
is the,
The first one to leave.
Sa aming
Louis
research,
and Mark is the first one.
I'm sorry?
Louis de Lima.
Louis or Louis?
Louis de
Is that
Lima.
how you pronounce it? Louis
Yeah.
de Lima.
We call him Louis.
Louis.
Yes.
Okay. Louis and Mark were the first to leave.
Yeah,
At about
before,
what time?
I think John Paul Halili.
Kasi nangyayari itong kay Christine, mga alas 6.
Di ba
Alas 7
pinicture
na,
niya
di ba?
before he left?
yeah, Paul already left, but on taking,
JP
Paul
Halili, the one
Halili
from the
yes,
hotel.
the manager
Ah,
already
he
left
left
by
na.
6.
Sige nga, Valentine, straight natin.
He left na. Paul Halili was
Mga
the first
anong
one
oras
to
ito?
left. Around 6.
6 a.m.
So habang
something.
sumusuka si Tin, umalis na siya.
Yeah,
Okay.
she's the one to take the picture, actually, na nakaganon si Tin.
Siya
Before
ang
he
kumuha ng
left.
litrato niya.
Yeah.
Did you know why?
Because he wanted to like show it to her in the morning.
In the
and
morning,
say,
like,
oh, this is what you are like when you're drunk.
Itong
Oh,
itsura
never do
mo.
it again. Yeah.
Okay. That was the
Never do this
intent
again.
of Paul.
And then after he left, the next one to follow is Mark and Louis.
Magkasama sila.
Yeah, together. Once na...
Why were they together? Because
I think they have something.
they have something together.
Yeah.
All right, okay.
And then afterwards, Jamir. Yeah, Jamir.
Jamil at 10. I have it on record from some sources.
Yeah, and then after that, I think Ray was the next one to leave.
Ray,
Yes.
how do you pronounce that? English?
English.
English.
Okay,
Like
so-
English without an H.
Okay, English. Okay, Ray was the next one.
Yes.
Okay.
And then afterwards, yung top 5.
Yung yung natira na lang, sabi ni Valentine yung top 5. So pangalanan natin yung 5 na natira. Valentine, JP, Rommel,
Clark,
Clark,
and Gigo.
kayo.
With
diba?
Tin. And
With Tin. Kayo na lang ang natira. Noong gumising si Rommel at 10:30, is it right to assume na kayo na lang ang nandoon?
Tito Boy, nagising ako ng 10. To be
10, I'm
exact.
sorry, not 10:30, 10.
10. And then si Ray nagising na din. Sabay kami nagising. Kasi hinahanap ni Ray yung cellphone niya.
Okay.
And then, sabi ni Ray sa akin, bihis na ako kasi may ayusin pa ako sa apartment ko pa uwi. Kasi naglilipat siya that time ng gamit sa bago niyang apartment.
Okay.
And then,
Umalis na siya.
hindi pa po.
Hindi.
Ginising ko si Christine. Tinatry ko siyang gisingin. Christine, lipat na tayo sa kaya pa ba? And then, si Ray, nasa loob din ng CR. Sabi ko, Ray, tingnan mo, lasing na lasing si Christine. Ginan ko pa siya. Then, sabi ni Ray, oo nga no. Tapos sabi ni Ray, sige, Rom, alis na ako kasi ayusin ko pa yung ko. Tapos, inaano ko pa si Tin na, Tin, gising na, tara na, maglipat ka sa room para komportable ka. Then, biglang nag-move yung kamay. Gumanon siya. So ako, inisip ko, pinapaalis ako nito, parang dito lang siguro niya gusto muna So
Okay.
ayoko mamilit. So ang ginawa ko, kumuha ko ng blanket, brown. Kinumutan ko siya, at bumalik na naman ako sa pagtulog.
Okay. Because the narrative of Jamir, or Jami, or whatever, ay nung siya'y umalis, ang sabi niya doon sa report, doon sa aking narinig o nakitang source, ay Tin was responsive at dinalhan niya ng unan.
Yes.
Okay? Kaya ikaw, ang dilala mo kumot. Yes, Clark.
Tito Boy, I just wanna clarify yung nangyari before Mark and Louie left, and then Jamir. So, before Mark and Louie left, si Tin po nasa bed na with the bathrobe. So, already,
Again, si Tin.
si Tin was already on the bed.
Okay.
So, they felt na everyone is sleeping na. So, parang okay na sila, they're going to sleep na. That's why they left.
Okay.
And then, a few minutes, si Tin, sumigaw pa siya. Sabi niya, ang lamig, naiihi ako, nasusuka ako. That's why she came back to sa
And
banyo.
this is around 9 in the morning.
Yes,
I would
yes.
imagine, because Jamir left at 10.
Yes.
Okay.
And that's the time na sumunod ako sa kanya. And pagkadating ko po dun sa banyo, nasa bathtub na siya. And parang hinihintay niyang sumuka at umihi. Parang ganyan.
Okay.
And then sabi ko, sige, umihi ka muna dyan. Sumuka ka. And then after, no, wala na siyang masuka eh. Sabi ko sa kanya pa noon, wag niya nang basahin yung bathrobe kasi wala na siyang susuotin kung mababasa yun. Sabi niya, and then she insisted na wag nang umalis. Sabi niya, dito na ako matutulog. Dito na, sabi ko ganyan. Tapos bumalik pa ako sa kanila. Guys, sabi ko, hindi ako comfortable na dun siya matutulog. Ganyan. Tapos binalikan ko ulit si Tin. Sabi ko, Tin, lumipat ka na ulit. Sabi niya, ayoko masukahan yung bed.
So she was in a conversation with you?
Yes.
Okay.
Ayaw niya masukahan yung bed and maihi sa bed. Sabi ko, okay, sige, itutupi ko na lang tong bathrobe, lalagay ko dito sa ulo mo. Kasi ayaw niya po talaga, parang sabi niya, no, dito na ako,
Okay.
dito na ako.
And that's consistent with what she did to Rommel, na parang go.
Yes,
Okay.
yes po. And then, yun na po ko siya sinabi na, okay, sige, mag-rest ka na dyan, babalik na ako sa bed. And then, yun na po, pagkabalik ko dun sa extra bed, a few minutes, si Jao naman, bumangon na, aalis. And then, nung nakita niya si Tin, yung una ni Jao, yung pinampalit niya dun sa...
Jao is Jamir.
Jamir po,
Okay.
Jamir.
You call him?
Jao.
Jao.
Yes.
Okay. All right.
And then, Yun na yung bago siya umalis, yung una niya po, yung pinampalit niya po dun sa bathrobe. That's why, yun po yung nilagay niyang
Ayun,
una.
okay.
And then he left.
So, tama yung kanyang sinabi doon sa
Yes.
kanyang
And then
salaysay.
doon na po kami ulit natulog. And then yun na po, by 10.
Tapos yun na, si Rommel
Si
woke
Rommel
up
nagising.
already, and then everybody was asleep,
Yes.
5 na lang kayong natira, Tin was in the bathtub, and then 12 noon, tama ba? 12 or 12:30? 12? Yun na yung gumising ka, doon na nag-umpisa.
Yes po.
Okay, but before that, Rommel, bago natin puntahin, you also had statements, you had also declarations that said, pag nalalasing si Tin, correct me, medyo war freak siya pala away or wild.
My times.
My times.
Yeah.
How wild and how war freakish, how war freak is she and how wild is she when she gets drunk?
Ano po klaseng wild po?
Hindi, tinatanong ko sa'yo, kung gaano. Anong ibig sabihin mo ng wild?
Wait. Okay, so
You said that, right?
yes.
Okay.
Wild, ano lang siya? Walwal lang. Pag nakainom, parang walang bukas. Ganun siya.
Okay.
And war freak, sometimes. Pag siguro hindi niya gusto yung isang tao or...
Nananakit siya? Is she physical? Daldal lang.
Yeah.
Now I understand because JP's narrative clarifies that. Hindi lang if na ng IG, inaway na.
Vocal, madaldal. So,
Okay.
through words.
Sinasabihan niya siya?
Pero never ko siya nakita nanakit.
Oo, okay. But you guys, pag sober na napapagkwentuhan niya na huwag kang ganyan, ang kakasabihan kayo. As family, as friends, as brothers, as sister.
Ano ba?
Hindi niyo napapag-usapan?
Hindi. Hindi po.
Okay. Ang iba naikwento niyo na. So, tumawag ka sa front desk, etc. The wheelchair story, narinig na namin yan. And then, she was brought to the hospital. Ang kasama mo lang sa ospital, Rommel, ikaw, si JP,
Hindi. Ako lang.
no, si John Paul Halili.
No.
Nasa hotel pa ako nun.
Wala. So, sinong
Ako
kasama
lang.
mong tatlo?
Ako, yung dalawang hotel staff.
Okay.
Yes.
Ikaw at saka dalawang
Dalawang
hotel
hotel
staff.
staff, yeah.
So, wala dito sa 5 ang kasama mo.
Hindi po kasi sabi daw po, isa lang po na companion ang i-allow ng hospital.
Sino ang nagsabi nun?
The hotel staff po. Yung
The hotel
nagdala,
staff.
yung kasama
Okay.
ko rin po. Nagdala
What
sa-
happened? Nagtawag ka ba? Sumunod ba kayo? O ikaw lang doon?
Ako lang po.
Okay. Alam na natin, the narrative includes that, and then you were brought to the Makati Police Station. Tama?
After po sa hospital, bumalik pa kami sa hotel.
Kami, kasama mo yung dalawang staff ng hotel.
And the investigator and the police.
What happened?
Doon ko na sila na-meet sa hotel ulit. Tapos umakyat kami para i-check nila yung, investigate nila yung room kung saan nangyari yun.
Ilang investigators ang dumating?
Isang investigator, tapos dalawang police. Not sure.
So, in-inspect nila yung room
Yes.
in your presence, kayong 5.
Yes.
Yes po.
Okay. So, what
No,
happened?
no.
Actually,
Only three.
It was only 3 of us. Me, JP, and
And Rommel, nasaan na kayo Valentine at saka Clark?
I went home kasi I had a New Year's Day. I had an appointment prior to that event. Actually, I was
And did you think nothing was wrong?
Yeah, because of course, first I was shocked and in panic. I didn't know what to do, and there was a guy asking for my ID and saying that I can't go home.
At
Of
the lobby
course,
of the hotel?
yeah, I was rattled, so I didn't have any IDs with me, so I went home and took a taxi.
No, but so then you knew that something was wrong?
Yeah,
Because some
but
guy was asking for your ID?
yes, but I was in touch with them like through
All right,
message.
okay, all right. Why did you go, Clark?
Same with Val. I have a New Year's Day with my family too.
All right.
Yes, and I kept on touch with Rommel. Sabi ko pa sa kanya na kung kailangan kong bumalik, sabihin mo sa akin. Kasi
Okay.
I know that syempre, hospital protocol, one person lang ang kailangan nasa
Okay,
hospital.
tama. So bumalik kayong tatlo, JP de la Serna, si Rommel at saka si Gigo, to the hotel with an investigator and 2-3 other policemen. Tama ba?
Yes, po.
Tito Boy, just to
sorry.
clarify, me and JP were actually at the hotel. We never left. because
never left.
We waited for, we met.
No, I know. Pagbalik ni Rommel, sabi ni Rommel, umakyat sa kwarto ang investigator, may kasamang
And we
police.
followed.
And then, in your presence, tiningnan nila yung kwarto. Tama ba?
Yes.
Yes po.
Kung ano ang mga nangyari doon. What did you see? I mean, tell me what you saw. Was the examination thorough? May tiningnan ba? Ano ba ang klaseng examination na ginawa ng mga police?
Well, for me, Tito Boy, I was just, the impact of what just happened just struck me because you just called, JP just called the mom, and that was the first time I actually cried that moment. So I was kind of distracted.
You called the mom to
Yes.
tell her what?
Una po, Tito Boy, is si Rommel is tinawagan si Brian, which is one of Tin's close friend too.
Brian, he also flies.
Before.
Before po.
Before, okay.
Tapos si Brian is tinawagan ako. So sabi niya sa akin, JP, ano nangyari kay Tin? So I explained everything.
Okay.
So from there, tawagan mo to si Dana, which is Tin's best friend. So sinabi ko kay Dana, sinabi ko yung nangyari kay Tin. Tapos sabi nila, hindi magandang biro yan. Sabi ko, hindi ako nagbibiro, ganyan.
Itong Dana was the girlfriend of the one who posted
Andre
about that
Barreto.
conversation. Sorry?
Yes, that's Andre Barreto.
That Andre who posted their conversation. I saw
Yes. Then after that, si Dana yung nagbigay sa akin ng nung number ng mother ni Tin. So by then, nung pagkabigay niya sa akin ng number, it's really hard for me to discuss it because, of course, nawalan ka ng anak and I don't know how to handle that kind of situation, to be honest, but I did my brave thing na discuss ko because her mom has the right to know the truth. So, ayun po, sinabi ko yung nangyari kay Tin, and then all of a sudden, it really blown my mind. Nawala ako sa sarili ko, na bumagsak talaga yung buong katawan ko. So, I feel sad.
So exactly, JP, what did you tell the mom?
Sabi ko, tita, si Tin po is bait siya, ganyan-ganyan. Wala po kami, hindi ko po kayang tanggapin na ganito. Tapos ayun po, pero sabi ko, kinakalungkot ko pong sabihin sa inyo, pero wala na po si Tin, ganyan-ganyan. Then, parang mga 30 seconds, bigla akong nanghina kasi I've heard her mom screaming. Umiiyak yung mommy niya. And I don't know how to handle that. Sabi niya, anong ginawa niyo sa anak ko? Sabi ko, wala po kaming ginawa. Ganyan-ganyan. Tapos ayun na, naputol yung conversation namin that time.
And it stopped there. Rommel, it seems like you're the closest to Tin among them. Why didn't you call the family from the hospital?
Nasa stage na po ako na shock. Nung time na sinabi sa akin ng doktor, hindi na namin kayang i-revive si Christine. Parang doon na yung, okay, sige. Doon na-freeze na ako. Wala na akong ibang narinig. Umupo na lang ako sa gilid. Tapos nag-overthink ng mga kung anong pwedeng gawin, kung anong pwedeng mangyari sa amin. Kasi possible talaga kami idiin. Sana.
Sino muna mong sinabihan that Tin had passed on? Sila?
Ako.
Hindi.
Hindi po.
Hindi.
Sa sobrang panic ko na gusto kong ipaalam agad sa parent, natawagan ko scheduling ng work namin.
Okay.
Para humingi ng details ng mom. Then sabi ng scheduling, text ko na lang kasi hindi rin sila, check pa nila yung details ni Christine.
Yeah, this is about 2:07 or 2:08 to my knowledge.
Yes po.
In my research. Tumawag ka sa scheduling to report.
Yes.
Okay.
Next is, I called Brian. Pero, puro sermon lang na ko, so hindi ko na tinapos yung conversation namin. And then after nun, natulala na naman ako.
Paano nyo nalaman that Tin was gone? Kayong dalawa, Gigo, nasa hotel kayo eh.
Yeah, I found out through JP.
May tumawag kay Rommel because
So nalaman nyo na. Okay. You went back to the hotel with the investigator and the policeman, and then what happened next? Anong sinabi sa inyo ng investigator? Anong sinabi sa inyo ng mga pulis? Sa inyong tatlo?
yung sa pagkaka-remember ko dito boys, nagkalkal sila dun sa loob ng room. Then after that, niyaya kami sa presinto to give our statement.
How was the invitation done?
They were like, don't worry, everything is fine. You don't need to be nervous. we just would like, in Tagalog of course, we just would like to invite you to give your statement at the station. And we immediately said, yes po. And I asked if I could bring my lawyer with me,
Okay.
as I'm always told to do so.
Okay. And then your lawyer arrived, and that was the reason why you were able to leave the police station.
Yeah, we waited for at least 4 hours
4
till
hours.
Attorney Mike here saw that
Okay.
I was really tired and
Alright.
just drained.
Samantala, ang natira doon at nag-stay overnight, you were detained, Rommel, at saka ikaw, JP. Did you understand what was happening? Did you understand why you were detained in the police station? Did you ask?
No, alam lang po talaga namin, Tito Boy, tatanungin lang kami kung anong
Kaya nga,
nangyari.
doon na kayo. Doon na kayo natulog. I mean, did you wonder? Did you call? Did you ask anyone as to what was happening?
What they were telling us was that we want you to wait until the family representative of Tin can arrive so you can explain to them yourself what really happened.
Yung bang narinig nyo, JP, Rommel? And you understood that? Kaya hindi kayo nakaalis? Because you had to wait for the family or representatives of the family to arrive at the station?
Well, I can confirm, Tito Boy,
Okay.
that the police investigator told us, no, me and I think they also heard
Gigo,
that.
oo.
The two of them also heard that we just have to wait for I think it was Kat who was
Kat,
the
cousin of-
Makati Med at the time.
Kat.
Kat, I think it was
Catherine
Catherine
is the cousin.
Okay, all right.
Who was at the Makati Med at that time. Because I can hear them talking over the
So
phone.
there was a relative of Tin
Who was already
in
at
the
Makati Med.
hospital.
Yes.
Okay.
And the police said that to the three of them, just wait for Kat to arrive. So parang they said just for delicadeza or kasi namatayan, they should know what happened or for them to turn over, explain something
So
like that.
wait for Kat before we can release you. Did Kat arrive?
I'm not sure because by the time Gigo and I already left, and I think that also gave them the impression that after when this Cat would arrive later on, they would already be released.
Did you have that impression, JP, Rommel, na pag dumating si Kat or representatives of the family, that you guys also would be released?
Yes, sinabi po sa amin yan.
Okay, so nung kayo'y nandun na, gabi na, etc., what did you start to think?
Just Tito Boy,
Okay.
before we leave this point, I
Okay.
just like to clarify, kasi there were news articles also or some insinuations that Gigo and I left the police station without asking for permission. We were in fact allowed. I asked permission from the police investigator as well as from his supervisor for me to bring Gigo home already. And we were granted naman permission. We never escaped, so quote unquote, the
police station.
Police station.
Okay.
Because I am fully aware that if we would do that, that would be raise suspicion from the police investigator.
Anong sinabi ng police officers nung sinabi mo, I'm representing my client and I'm here, why were you released?
I simply said, sir, pwede na ba kaming umuwi? Kasi wala naman hindi nyo naman kine-question yung client ko. You were just sitting here. Baka pwede na kaming umuwi kasi he's tired. Nagpuyat yan kagabi, tapos hindi pala pang pahinga, etc. And then, so initially, the police investigator told me, Tony, baka pwede ho natin, the same thing, baka pwede ho natin antayin the family for delicadeza,
Okay.
etc. Sabi ko, wala naman ho yatang definite time kung anong oras siya uwi. And, kasi for me also, it's January 1, I was medyo eager na ako to go home or to go back to my family. I'm not supposed to be working at that time, So, inulit ko, baka pwede po, mauna na kami. Anyway, the two other friends, Rommel, I was told was the closest, so they will be left naman maiiwan naman ho sila dito
Pinayagan kayo?
Yes, sabi ko, sige
Pero
pa,
attorney,
I think wala naman hong
Okay.
kung
Pero
uwi na
attorney,
kami.
ba't hindi mo na lang idinama yung dalawa at paalisin na rin?
Well, actually, I was only only called upon to assist si Gigo.
Okay.
In
Did it
fact,
occur in your minds na, attorney, pati ba naman kami? I mean,
hindi ko nga
of course,
sila
this is
masyado pang
overstretching
kinausap
it.
that time
Okay. At hindi pa, magkakilala na kayo, hindi
No,
pa?
I don't know
Okay,
them. In
alright.
fact, it was also the first time I met Gigo.
Okay.
I
So it
haven't
didn't
met-
occur in your mind, Rommel, JP, na sana isama na lang kami ng abogado ni Gigo. Napapag-usapan lang naman ito. Hindi.
Na pumasok siya sa isip ko.
And then?
Na parang, paano naman kami dito? Iwan niyo kami. Pero di ko na nasabi. Siyempre, di ko naman kilala
Alright.
si
I understand.
attorney.
Tsaka yung ano namin ng Tito Boy, sabi ko, sige papaalisin naman tayo, antayin na lang natin yung cousin ni Tin. Since ang purpose talaga namin is to cooperate and to help that time.
Naintindihan ko, JP. Okay. About 3 o'clock in the afternoon of January 2, I learned that you executed your affidavits. Right or wrong?
Yes.
You did. You wrote your affidavits. Do you remember, Rommel and JP, kung ano ang inyong mga pinagsusulat doon?
Yes po.
I think it's not accurate to say that they wrote. You can ask the procedure.
Tell me the accurate thing to say.
Well, I
attorney.
think the procedure,
the-
as I've observed it, no.
Okay.
The police would sometimes ask questions, and then they will give an answer.
So ang
and
pulis ang
type it.
gumagawa ng report,
Yes,
hindi
they will type.
hindi kayo ang sumulat.
Hindi po.
Tinatanong lamang kayo. But was it a formal interview? Was it a formal conversation? Hali kayo dito, dalawa, umupo, ikaw.
It's
Hindi ganon.
one-on-one po.
One-on-one. Tapos, yung parang napapanood namin na sila ang nagsusulat ng inyong sinasabi.
Yes po.
Pero lahat ng inyong sinabi doon, hindi kayo pinilit.
May time, hindi po napilit, pero hindi po bukal sa kalooban.
Hindi bukal sa iyong
Hindi siya
kalooban.
bukal sa kalooban.
Pero bakit mo sinabi?
Kasi po, nagkaroon ng... Ang una pong in-interview si Rommel. So, Rommel,
Tito Boy, before that, I would just like to,
Okay.
I would just like to ask to clarify. I think I haven't actually asked them yet also at this point. At that point, they were already under investigation, custodial investigation.
Yes.
Were they read their rights, the Miranda rights, their right to
Did you
remain
ask that,
silent?
attorney?
I haven't asked actually. It's just
Binasahan ba
occurred
sila
to
ng
me.
Miranda rights?
And we can ask them right
Binasahan
now.
ba kayo ng Miranda rights?
hindi po.
Is that a requirement, attorney?
Yes, because if you will read the statement, ay yung parang preliminary statement in the salaysay, it would say there that matapos silang basahan ng kanilang karapatan ng ayon sa batas, sila itinanong, which is basically their Miranda rights, their right to remain
Okay, I
silent,
understand.
their right to counsel, their right to,
Okay. Itong nangyari ngayong araw na ito, itong partial retraction na sinabi nga ni Attorney Abby kanina, napanood ko sa telebisyon, bahagi ba ito doon sa sworn statement mo? Was that a sworn statement? Is that the correct way to describe it, that affidavit?
Yes.
Bahagi ba yun doon sa kanyang attorney now that you're representing them?
Yes.
What was partially retracted? What was partially recanted today? Was that part of that affidavit?
Yes, that's part of the affidavit. Basically, it clarifies the matter that was basically threshed out from them while they were in detention.
Okay, diretso na tayo because doon sa aking napanood ngayong araw ay there was pressure, there was torture. Kaya may mga nasabi ka doon sa statement na yon. What is your side of the story?
To be honest, Tito Boy, is January 1, kinulong kami dun sa loob ng jail wherein we're being exposed to more than 100 people. And at the same time, that night, we don't have any option to lay down. And yung...
Hindi kayo natulog.
Hindi kami nakatulog, Tito Boy.
Masama lang kayo ni Rommel.
Yes
Okay,
po.
and then?
Then, that night, Tito Boy, yung pinaglagyan nila sa amin is like madumi, maraming ipis, mainit, tapos
So what are you trying to say, JP?
hindi po safe yung pinaglagyan namin kasi we feel unsafe. We don't know who are the people inside.
Okay, all right.
And that night po, yun po, hindi na kami makatulog. Tapos, the next day, kinausap po kami ulit. Tapos, kinausap po kami kasama yung side ni Miss Sharon, tapos ng mga police, ganyan.
Okay. Ito na yung affidavit, ito na yung tinatanong. Because I know the parents arrived.
Yes.
I know the father and the mother of Christine arrived. As a matter of fact, I have it from sources that you guys, I don't know if it was Rommel or you were interviewed by a police officer and the father of Christine for quite a long time.
Yes,
Di ba?
po.
Bahagi ba yun doon sa nilalaman ng sworn statement na yun?
Yes.
Okay. So, ang sinasabi mo, JP, sa madaling salita, ay you were in that particular, you were in that state of mind. Wala kang tulog, etc., etc. So, nakapagbigay, so what pressure were you talking about? What torture were you talking about?
The torture that I'm talking about is the emotional torture and the mental torture.
Hindi ka sinakta ng pisikal. Hindi ka pinilit magsalita ng mga bagay-bagay.
Meron din po, hindi ko siya masasabing sinaktan, sinaktan Tito Boy, pero pinosas po kami. Pinosas po kami ni Rommel. And there are some times na yung poses bumabakat na siya dito kasi masikip. So, I would consider that as a physical torture as well.
Is that torture, attorney, to your mind? Or is that part of the process after all they were detained?
Well, my observation in when people are under custodial investigation, they are not normally in handcuffs.
Okay, all right.
They will just be held in a room,
Okay.
basically isolated from the rest of the
Pero ang nangyari
detention
dito,
cell.
hindi sila isolated,
But
kasama sila.
according to
lahat.
them,
Okay.
the first night they were inside the detention cell with those who are already charged with a crime, di ba?
Okay. So JP, idiretso natin doon sa usapan. Yung partial recantation, yung partial retraction mo, ay sinasabi mo na yung powder drugs na di umano'y inoffer sa'yo ni Mark Anthony Rosales ay hindi totoo?
Yes po.
Pero bakit mo nasabi in the first place?
Kasi that night na ini-interrogate ako, Tito Boy, wala akong tulog, wala akong maayos na kain. At the same time, yung may sinabi sila na I can be a state witness, magbigay lang ako ng pangalan. Then, sabi po nila, hindi ako masampahan ng kaso. And that night, naisip ko lang, si Mark lang yung bago sa grupo. Si Mark lang yung bago sa grupo and siya yung naituro ko. Tapos, ayun nga po Tito Boy, sa sobrang takot ko sa nangyari sa akin sa loob ng kulungan, nakita ko yung sarili ko nakaposas, yun na po yung nasabi ko.
JP, tanong, couldn't you have been also telling the truth? Not because out of fear, but because it actually happened?
I'm telling the truth, Tito Boy.
Okay.
The only reason why I wasn't able to speak up, because syempre, yung nangyari sa amin sa loob is mahirap, nakakatakot.
Naiintindihan ko.
And
Naiintindihan.
natatakot ako baka madama yung family ko kasi
JP, but why invent a story?
yun po, sabi kasi natin Tito Boy is pwede kang maligtas dito, pwede kang hindi makasuhan.
Kasi hindi lang nagtatapos kay Mark Anthony Rosales yung kwento mo. Pati ba yung nakita mo na nag-take si Mark Anthony at saka si Louis de Lima, ni-recant mo rin yun?
Tinanggal ko po yun kasi the only reason why nasabi ko yun is I'm hearing both of them were moaning but because they were making love, because both of them are considered as couple or dating po.
Okay. They were making love. So in that small room, the two were actually making love in your presence, guys?
Not sexually love, but then I think it's like kissing, then kilitian.
They were making out.
Yes.
Okay. Are you guys aware that Louis is also from Tiansan?
Yes po.
I have it from research that the families actually know each other. They may not be close to each other, but they know each other.
I'm not sure dito.
You're not sure about it, but you know that Louis is from General Santos.
Yes.
Okay, so yung testimony, yung sworn statement mo, up until that point where you said, nakita mo si Louis at saka si Mark, niretract mo yun.
Yes po.
What is, how is that valid? Is that acceptable, attorney? I mean, sorry, we're not legal minds.
Well, that's the option of the respondent.
Does that affect the case? The credibility of the boys?
Not entirely. If they can explain how it happened, no? How the testimonies that they retracted, how it was taken from them.
Okay.
Besides, it's understandable that they would tell whatever is asked of them or would just even ride along with a story that's being told or an example that's being set, right? So in this instance, JP was given an incentive, sort of an incentive of why he can...
Ang tawag doon sa report, misrepresentations.
Misrepresentation, manipulation, pressure, right? In terms of manipulation, they were interrogated separately by the police officer. I think it was
But that has
Rommel
to be
first.
proven in your investigation, in the case.
And we don't have to prove anything. They have to prove the case, not us.
No, but you recanted.
No, but what I'm trying to say is, the end
I
of the day,
understand, yes.
the process is they gave their statement, but the case will have to rise and fall on the merits of the complaint, not on the defense of these people.
No, but I know, but the defense is also material in this discussion because part of the sworn statement is now being retracted.
Just part of it.
Just part of it, yes.
Yes, but
The part of it which is one of the most important because it tackles drugs.
well, but that's not the case that was filed.
Which is opposed to the initial declaration of the boys that there were no drugs from the very beginning.
Actually, I was also surprised when we read the entirety of the complaint and the attached statements. When it was only during further questioning or further interview or a deeper interview with JP that we found out about these things. He did not divulge this information to me or to the other lawyers at first. When we were preparing their judicial or their counter affidavit, we asked them, what can you say about this particular statement? Is this true? It's voluntarily
said?
taken. And that's the time, at first, they were hesitant to tell anything.
Okay, all right.
So it was only upon, you have to tell us what really happened and whether this is true or not, because we can't help you if you don't tell us the truth.
Okay.
So that's the time these things.
I understand. But let me go to Rommel because this is connected to this whole narrative. Rommel, do you also retract? Are you also recanting your story that Tin actually told you that it could have been possible that Mark Anthony Rosales dropped something on her drink?
I did.
Nag-recant ka rin?
Yes.
Oo. But why did you say that again? Bakit si Mark ang medyo na-involved dito sa inyong mga kwento?
First of all, Tito Boy, nung tinanong ako ng police kung bakit yung tinanong ako, interrogation, Tito Boy, yung naramdaman ko nung time na yun, pagod, gutom, anxiety, worried, walang nag-a-advise, walang kasama, wala, anything. Nararamdaman ko nung Tito Boy, habang ini-interview ako, gusto ko na lang, gusto bumigay ng katawan ko, gusto ko
I understand, Rommel.
Nahihilo.
But that does not give you a license to lie and to name other people.
Yung totoong sinabi po talaga ni Christine is nahihilo lang siya at sumasama pakiramdam niya.
So yung pagka-involved ni Mark was your invention.
Halong ano na lang po yun, halong nervyos.
Pero bakit si Mark? Bakit si Mark? Bakit si Mark?
Because Mark is bago sa group and siya yung hindi pa namin ganun kakilala.
Nevertheless, I mean, but it's not fair.
Because of the police, so sobrang pressure ng
Sinabi ba ng police na sabihin niyo ang pangalan? Sinabi ng police ang
Yes.
pangalan?
Were
they specific
we
with
have
the
to
name?
drop we have to name someone na involved na ano sa drugs, dapat may gumamit ng drugs or may nagdala ng drugs for my release, for my freedom. Tito Boy,
Okay.
nung time na yon nararamdaman ko a glimpse of hope na meron na pwede kong kakapitan kung matapos lang to kasi ayoko na talaga, pagod na
At sabi niyo nga ang dalawa, dahil si Mark ang bago at hindi niyo kaibigan, siya ang naalala niyo.
Yes.
Okay, but you know now, correct me here ha, attorney, you know now that what you did was wrong. You know now that what you did to Mark was totally unfair and unjust.
It was haka-haka, Tito Boy.
It was haka-haka, but it was part of a sworn statement.
Yes.
And you admitted that it was wrong.
I admit it.
Well, actually, Tito Boy, just to it's better to admit it now, and clear the name of the person implicated than let it remain on record and let the innocent person suffer.
That's part of the right
What
to
do you
recant.
mean? That's
to
part of
retract.
their right, and
Oo.
then also that is the fair thing to do as far as Mark is concerned.
How will it affect this whole case, attorney?
I think it will not affect the case because, as I have mentioned, the police are still providing additional pieces of evidence.
Okay.
The evidence are not yet complete, but they have said that the case is already closed.
Kasi pumasok na
lang.
ng NBI, may police na, etc. Ito lang ang gusto kong tanong. Si Mark,
But, Tito Boy,
Oh, go ahead.
I would just like to add, during this time that Rommel and JP were being interrogated, they were being interrogated without the presence of counsel.
I was about to ask you that. Yes.
So,
And to us who are not legal minds, is that illegal? Is that wrong?
well, not illegal per se if they waive their right to counsel because
But they
under
didn't.
They didn't. In fact, later that day, they were assisted by they were looking for somebody to assist them, and it was only later that day that another a lawyer, I think it was a friend of JP, came and assisted him. So it just so happened that his friend is not really a criminal
But
lawyer.
doesn't it make this whole story worse? So, kung akong police, sasabihin ko, we interrogated, they executed their affidavit in the presence of a lawyer, regardless of what kind of a lawyer was there.
Exactly, but we have to also remember that the prior interrogation was conducted without the lawyer, and then the lawyer who appeared wouldn't know any better because he was basically blindsided, right? He was there, but his clients was already interrogated, and
But whose failure is that?
I don't know.
Okay, all right.
It's actually the failure of if police officers or police investigators would only respect the rights of the respondents or basically persons under custodial investigation, lawyers, they should wait for a lawyer to arrive.
And you read the Miranda rights.
Read the Miranda rights. But we always see it in the movies, in the, diba? Even in the US series, they would always want to question the persons under investigation before the arrival of lawyers to thresh out information. But again, that's
I get your point, attorney. Rommel, JP, you had a chance to meet with Miss Sharon and the father and was it the chief of police of Makati or a police officer? Sa madaling salita, I know we've been talking about all these things. How was that conversation? Was that an interrogation? Was that an interview? How was that? Kasi ito ang hindi lumalabas. Kumusta yung inyong pag-uusap? Because I was told, tama ba, that you had a conversation with the parents?
Yes.
Kumusta yun?
Hindi siya naging okay for me. Tito Boy, pamuwersa yung ginawa nila. Pamumuwersa.
Bakit mo nasabi yan?
Tito Boy, pinangakuan kami. Alang-alang sa freedom mo, kaya namin ibalik sa trabaho mo. Tatanggalin namin yung name mo sa list ng kakakasuhan.
Sino ang nagsasalitang ito?
The mother.
Okay.
The mother and Andre.
I'm sorry, who is Andre? Sorry.
Andre Barreto.
Andre
Yes.
Barreto, the boyfriend of Dana, was also there.
Yes.
Okay, go ahead.
And then, kailangan ko lang daw talaga magsabi ng sabihin kung...
But this was being said in the presence of a police officer.
Yes.
Okay, klaro lang. Okay. So, pinangakuan. Your version, JP.
Ayun din po, pinakakuan kami na matatanggalan kami ng kaso, magiging state witness kami.
Kinagalitan kayo?
Yung mother po, pinagalitan kami. Sinabihan ako ng mother niya na wala daw akong kwentang kaibigan kasi pinabayaan ko yung anak niya, kaya ganun yung nangyari. Pero sabi ko, kinuha ko po yung best ko para alagaan si Tin that night.
Same po.
Actually, kung ako nga po yung tatanungin nyo, it's beyond my control. Because I did go there to have fun.
What about the father?
Wala po
siya
yung
po.
father.
Wala. Just the mother and Andre.
Andre, Dana, the cousin.
Dana, cousin.
Dana Sokauko.
Yes, I know. The
Cousin of Christine. Marichi.
Doktora Marichi.
Doktora Marichi.
So lahat sila nandun.
The
Pero ang
lawyer.
kumakausap sa inyo ay si Miss Sharon.
Yes.
Saan ito? Sa labas? Sa loob ng opisina? Ng police?
Sa loob po ng office, sa
Okay,
pinakadulo.
At hindi kayo kinausap magkasabay?
Hindi po.
Isa-isa? Alright.
And then tried to convince me na kami bahala sa inyo, bibigyan ka namin ng protection. Sabihin mo lang na kung sino nag-rape, kung sino yung gumanon kay Christine.
Anong sagot mo nung tinatanong kang ganun?
Sinabi ko yung totoo, na walang nag-rape, walang nangyaring ganito, ganyan. But, tapos suddenly, Marichi, sabi niya, hindi naniniwala yung pamilya sa'yo, itutuloy namin yung demanda, mabubulo ka sa bilangguan.
Tapos Tito Boy, may isa pang sinabi sa akin si Andre Barreto. Sabi niya sa akin, sabi ko, what's going on right now is really expensive. Tapos sabi niya sa akin, sabihin mo na yung totoo, lahat ng gastos mo ibabalik namin. So, sabi ko, doon na ako kumagat sa kanila, Tito Boy.
Okay.
Tito Boy, I just would just like to add, no? I can confirm partially that there was really manipulation as far as, yung psychological manipulation is concerned, no? I also, somebody also from the camp of the Daceras also talked to me when I arrived, I think it was Sunday early evening there, somebody approached me and told me, "Attorney, are you the lawyers of..." Yes, I will be taking over and handling their case. This this person told me that if they will just cooperate with us, we'll just want to know the truth, they just want to know the identities of the other friends, etc., etc. And then we will set them free. We will not include we will not include them in the complaint. So there's really this really this.
I hear you. I hear you.
Really this offer of incentive or
Manipulate.
basically offering something that these two
Okay.
guys would really look forward to.
Okay.
I
This
can
is-
understand them because they have been in jails for several days already. They're tired. They would commit these blunders, these mistakes.
Sa mga nakikinig, this is their side of the story. Bukas po ang interviewer, ang aking programa, para sa panig po ng pamilya Dacera. So that we can just be fair about, the stories and the narratives. I understand, Attorney. Ang inuulit-ulit ko sa inyong lima, lalo na sa inyong dalawa na natira doon. Was there drugs involved in this party? Were there drugs in 2209? Were there drugs in 2207? Or even that other room, 2009? If there is, meron bang droga? Oo, hindi.
Wala po.
Okay. Napag-usapan na natin yung sinabi niyo nga kay Christine. May nais kang idagdag tungkol dun sa partial retraction, Attorney?
Siguro makalimutan nila. You remember, I interviewed you, sabi niyo, 2 beses kinuna ng statement. Yung una, wala yung issue ng drugs.
Yes.
Nagulat na lang, tapos pinahirapan sila, okay. Tapos kinuha ulit.
Well, actually, just to clarify that, I was there initially. There was an ongoing question and answer.
Separate silang inimbestiga. Tapos, they were trying to extract something like there was drug taking. Hindi nila nakuha ng direct statement from Rommel. Kasi sabi ng Rommel, parang, and then pointed to someone, no? Yun ang hinahanap nila.
Attorney, bago mo ipagpatuloy, may tanong lang ako because I'm not familiar with things like this. But isn't that part of a police investigation? Isn't that part to put a little pressure? Isn't that part to, to put them in a situation where they become sort of vulnerable so that they can tell the truth? Bahagi ho ba yan?
Bahagi
Okay,
yun.
alright.
Kaya alam ko, kaya nang tinatanong ko sila, gagawa na kami ng counter affidavit. Saan ko lang nalaman na hindi pala totoo. Tapos, trinik ito. Sinabi lang siya na, sinabi niya, uy, umamin na si Rommel. Kaya nagsalita siya, umamin na, uy, ito sinabi niya. Nang tinanong ko siya, nag-second ng affidavit, sabi niya, isiningit lang ang mga yan.
Okay.
Ano nangyari?
Do you corroborate that? Is that the story? Is that your story? Rommel, bakit doon sa investigation, when you said baka, bakit nagbabaka ka?
Baka because I was drunk that time, Tito Boy.
Okay.
Hindi ko alam kung...
So, hindi ka 100%
Yes.
sure?
Yes.
Okay.
I was drunk and baka, may nasabi, baka. Kasi
Uh-huh.
magulo na rin yung isip ko. So,
Okay.
the safest thing na para sabihin ko yun is baka. Baka, haka-haka.
Okay.
And I think yung haka-haka na yun na nagamit ko, tama, which is acceptable siya, which is hindi, na dapat wala akong dinamay pang ibang tao.
Okay. JP, sabi nga ni attorney, nung pangalawang hinarap ka at sinabi, alam mo, si Rommel, ito na ang sinabi. Kaya, sagutin mo na rin ang tanong. Hindi mo kaya to have stuck to the truth? Hindi mo kaya kontrahin ang sinabi ni Rommel, lalo na kung hindi yun totoo?
Tito Boy, sa naranasan ko po sa loob, tapos sa hirap, yung anxiety na dinulot nito sa akin, sobrang damage po talaga ako. Like it's for 2 days I don't have sleep, tapos wala akong, as in wala talaga akong appetite. Like gusto ko nang bumagsak ng Tito Boy. Tapos nung in-offer sa akin na hindi ako makakasuhan, mapapalabas na ako. So I grabbed that chance na mag-mention na lang ng name.
I understand. Are you
Kapit sa
filing
patalim?
charges? Are you filing charges?
Do we call that kapit sa patalim, Tito Boy?
But are you filing charges? Can you file charges?
Well,
given this narrative?
At this point, that's not yet our priority.
Okay, all right. Guys, tanong ko lang ito. Because hindi naman siguro lingid sa inyong kaalaman that I am gay, I am with the LGBT community, sometimes they give me so many titles, but I am just a proud gay man. Why do you use your being gay as a defense?
Well, Tito Boy, for one thing, when the media picked up on the whole story and I was reading about it, there was no mention of it. And I said, wait, isn't that something that should be mentioned as well? And then, the next day, everything blew up and we became viral and I had to out myself to the entire, on live national television. It just,
Siguro, attorney, kailangan discuss mo yan because rape is not a sexual crime. It is a crime of power. Tama ba?
Well,
To a certain extent, right?
They are not totally exempt from committing from raping, from being accused of rape. But again, it changes the narrative kasi, Tito Boy, di ba?
Okay.
If what's being reported is that 11 men partied with one girl and that girl was found dead the following morning, di ba? It's one thing and then when you say that 11 gays partied with one girl and that girl was found dead the following morning. It changes the complexion of the issue.
Dagdagan mo pa, which is also not right because if one man partied with 11 women, I would not also understand if the defense of the women is hindi kami gumalaw kasi mga babae kami. It cannot be a gender issue.
No, actually,
because it's really following.
It's not only about gender. It's also about clearing the reputation of Christine here.
No, but gender is not attached to reputation.
No, but what I'm trying to say is Christine is being. We have read it, di ba? Christine is being blamed for partying with 11 men, whereas it would change. The context will change if Christine would be reported to have partied with 11 gays who are basically who also identify themselves as girls, right?
It's an entirely different discourse.
I think it's not a matter of using their sexuality, their identification as gay, as a defense. It's merely as a matter of telling the truth that they are actually gay.
Actually, except that, ang paliwanag kasi, hindi kami pwedeng manghalay, hindi namin sila pwedeng hasain. Ang gusto namin kapwa lalaki,
Actually,
mga beki kami,
Well,
etc.
I cannot speak for myself regarding
What I'm
that.
trying to say, your point of saying that it changes the narrative because of sexual orientation and gender identity, there is a point. But when you say I did not commit that crime because hindi pa ako nakakipagtalik, hindi ko gusto babae, that also changes the narrative.
Well, that is actually.
Although I understand that, Gigo.
That is actually
Because I saw that
Gigo's
interview.
personal interpretation.
No, I totally understand
But
that.
we have never said openly that they cannot commit rape just because they are gay.
Correct. Because this is not a gender issue.
This is
an
not a gender
LGBT. You guys are not discriminated because you're gays. You guys, kasi kami ang aalma naman, you guys are not discriminated. You were in a party, somebody died. That's a story. I mean, I think your biggest your biggest advantage is you know the story, you have the truth, as
Yes.
you would say. Nagtaka lang ako doon kung bakit, earlier, the pagiging bakla became a defense to a certain point. Yes,
Can I just
Gigo, go ahead.
clarify that, Tito Boy? Actually, it was just simply me. When at that time, when I had to speak my truth because I knew two of my friends were in jail, and I just, I felt helpless for them, and my mom was already exposed, and my gender is actually an issue between me and my mom. She doesn't want me to, tell anybody, but I'm very open, and so, she begged me not to come out. But I said, Ma, we need to do the right thing. So when I said that, I simply wanted to say, because I have so many girlfriends who trust me with their lives, I wanted to establish that, hey, maybe there's a reason why this woman was with 11 guys, because they were all gay. She was doing all this because she felt safe, she felt comfortable, because we made her feel comfortable, because we took care of her. That's what I wanted to say.
I hear you, Gigo, and I understand you. Ang ayaw ko lang puntahan, yung comments na mga lalaki pa rin yun. Because that's a total misrepresentation and misunderstanding of the whole gender discourse. This is not the right place to discuss about what I think personally about gender, because this is entirely peripheral, ancillary, outside of what we're discussing. Yes, Valentine, you want to say something?
I just want to clarify, I'm not using my gender or my orientation as a defense. I actually took this opportunity to come out to the world who I really am. And I believe this happened for a reason. This is the time that I could show the world who I really am as a person.
I hear you, Valentine. I just had to raise the point because I am a very visible member of the LGBT community. Tama yung sinasabi niyo, kailangan itama natin ang diskursong ito. I think we have to focus on... Go ahead.
Yeah, but I would just like to assure you, Tito Boy, that in our pleadings, in our counter affidavit, we have never used the gay defense in terms of its legal implications. We have never used it. We have simply stated the facts, what really transpired, what really happened to this gentleman here. But there's no mention that they cannot commit rape because they're gays. We have never used that.
You know best, attorney.
Yes.
You know best, and I have total respect for what you said. Young men, Edward Madrid, Mark Anthony Rosales, Louis de Lima, Ray Anglis, without the H, Jamir Kunanan, have they gotten in touch with you?
Yes.
They have. What are they saying?
Well, for one thing, they were afraid because of all the media that was coming out that there was a bounty on our heads, but of course, they were concerned about us and what was happening.
Are they coming out?
I'm not. I think
For
so,
the
yes.
record, I think Ed already attended the
Yes, he was
preliminary
there
investigation earlier.
Yes.
Ed Madrid was there.
Ed Madrid was
And our
there.
representative, I think, came here.
And Paul Halili, but he was already,
Yeah,
he was
and
there.
Jamir was
They have
represented.
all the
And all the rest were represented by lawyers.
Okay.
And they will come out in due time.
So, klaro lamang, nobody is in hiding.
Nobody, and then with
Including
the...
Mark Anthony Rosales.
Yes, he was properly...
Rommel and JP, have you gotten in touch with Mark Anthony?
Yes, we did say
Have you
sorry.
settled?
Yes.
We did say sorry for what we have
Okay.
done.
There was also no pressure from anybody?
There's not.
You apologized?
Yes.
Okay. Guys, is there anything else that you want to say?
I think, Tito Boy, we've said so much already.
You did.
Because we wanted to be heard.
Yes.
Because we thought we weren't being heard. And it was unfair. Our lives were ruined in just one sweep. Without even us being able to tell our statement. It's just unfair, and
No, Tito Boy, we just want to thank you for giving us this opportunity for my clients to air their side of the story. We have actually advised them not to grant interviews anymore, but they begged us to be interviewed again. They want to come out again because the other parties hasn't stopped coming out and giving statements to the media and giving their sides of the story. And with the development earlier where they have officially and formally filed their counter affidavits and it's on record already what they have to say. They said that, Attorney, pwede po ba magsalita ulit kami para kami marinig ng taong bayan? And that we thank you for providing us that venue, Tito Boy.
And thank you also for your story. Thank you for your time. Thank you for trusting me with your story. Your friend was buried some days ago, and for obvious reasons, for reasons that we know, you weren't able to attend the funeral of Christine. One of my last questions: if you were to pray for her and for yourselves, how would that prayer sound? Ikaw, Clark. Anong sasabihin mo sa Diyos?
Una sa lahat is, naniniwala ako Lord have mercy on us, and nagpapasalamat ako sa lahat ng mga biyayang binibigay niya. Gusto ko lang din maliwanagan na yung family ni Christine, matanggap niya na kung ano talaga ang nangyari sa anak niya. And also na yung nangyayari kasi sobrang hirap na parang lalong umihirap na sa lahat. Parang buong mundo na, parang gano'n sobrang pinapalaki na masyado yung issue. And I prayed na mismo ma-realize nila, the Lord will touch their hearts and minds na hindi namin ni-rape si Christine, walang gumawa na masama sa kanya. And she died because of natural causes. We were there with, she died
because of
natural causes.
natural causes.
Opo. Yun lang po, gusto ko maintindihan ng mother niya yun.
Gigo, how would that prayer sound?
First off, Tito Boy, I wanted to tell a short story. When we were asked to go back to 2209, I sat in front of the restroom that was open, and I was a bit emotional. I opened my phone to distract myself, and I see that Christine followed me last night, the day before, and it just occurred to me, wait, I haven't followed her yet. And so I think my prayer would be that I wish we had more time. We really hit it off that night. And that's, for me also, the entire experience, I was just trying to do the right thing. And then suddenly this, and it just hurts my heart. So I'm trying to pray for understanding as to why this had to happen. Because I've always tried to do the right thing and tried to be a good person. So Christine, I wish we had more time. That's it.
Valentine.
I just want to tell, if I could say, I want to tell Christine that I hope she's in a better place right now, and I hope that she touches the heart of her mom, to help her mom understand that, what really transpired during that night. I hope that Christine is at peace, because I know how she would feel knowing that her most loved or her friends are being placed in a situation where they are being accused, because actually Tin is the one to always be the first person to defend, especially her friends, because that's what we do when she's being, if you could see how we protected her during that night. I just want to wish for peace of mind, clarity of her soul, and also her mom's and family's soul.
Thank you. JP, ikaw.
Tito Boy, I always pray at night na sana maging okay na. I know kung nabubuhay man si Tin, hindi siya natutuwa sa nangyayari. Mahirap din sa amin kasi nawala kami na kaibigan. Alam ko mahirap din kay Miss Sharon na wala siya ng anak. Pero hindi ko na po kaya yung nakikita na negative comments na nakikita ko about kay Tin. Nasisira na yung image niya. Ngayon, mahal na mahal po namin si Tin. Kaya Tin, kung nasa hamon talaga kayo, asa ka mga ngayon ko, nandito ka man. Sana, bukawin mo yung isip na mama mo, ang mga tao na paligid sa'yo. Tapusin na to kasi hindi na namin kinakaya. And not only that, our family are being affected too. And hindi na ganun kadali yung nangyayari dito, boy, kasi hindi lang sarili namin yung isip namin. My friends and our family's life too. Because we don't know what might happen in the future.
Rommel, ikaw.
As the closest friend ni Christine, gusto ko magpasalamat dahil nakilala ko si Christine. Kahit sa maikling panahon ng pagsasama namin, naging masaya kami, naging makabuluhan yung pagkasama as close friends. At gusto ko lang din po sana sabihin kay God na sana malinawan isip ng family ni Christine na hindi po kami kalaban dito. Gusto rin po namin malaman ang katotohanan, lumabas ang katotohanan na dapat mag-work together para malaman talaga yung cause ng death ni Christine. And sana lesson learned din po talaga sa akin to na yung wala na.
Salamat, Rommel. In closing, guys, klaro lang. You didn't gang rape Christine Dacera.
I didn't. No.
You didn't kill
No.
your friend.
No.
No.
Oh.
You guys, based on your stories, are innocent
Yes,
of the crime that you are being suspected or accused of.
Yes, Tito Boy.
Yes po.
Last question. Why should the family of Christine, why should this whole country believe you?
Because we have the truth on our side. I have come up to the media, we all have faced the media and told the truth because we know what the truth is. We have never hid, we have faced it head on, and that's why we are facing this head on, because we know the truth is on our side.
Truth will always prevail, Tito Boy. Truth is always prevail.
Maraming salamat.
Thank you.
Maraming salamat. Thank you.
Boy.
Thank you po.
And God bless you all. Really. Thank you.
Thank you, Tito Boy.
Sa lahat ng nagmasid, to everybody who became part of this conversation, maraming salamat. I can't thank you enough. Once again, this is Boy Abunda for the interviewer. Good night.